really want John Zidar dead.
Now, shall we begin?
You are now listening to an altogether less fashionable variety of soccer podcast. Broadcasting live from the capital city of Columbus, Ohio. Welcome to
ACES Radio.
They're in your face, they're a little different. I think it's super cool. I love them. Jamie, ignorant slut.
Hold on to your butts.
Now, here are your hosts, Morgan Hughes, John Zidar, and Greg Benson.
Oh, yeah, baby. Ignorant sluts, shitlords, and celebrity fans alike. If you're hearing the sound of my voice, it's already too late. You're tuned in to the latest, the lamest, and possibly last episode of ACES Radio. It's a Buffalo Bills podcast only. Coming up tonight on the program, Cruisers FC leave all 3 points on the table in a home game against NYCFCSC. The panel will discuss. Cracking the Code makes its triumphant return as we try to decipher what Gergbergberger means when he uses words. Handballs are thrown about, John. That is still figurative and not literal, so do us all a favor and keep those perfectly formed PFGs safely tucked away in the pantalones. And on segment 2, the rarest of all rare treats as a celebrity guest unlike any other stops by the show. And we don't mean that as a compliment. Zip 6 is here. It's Steve Abreu on tour. He was in Montreal and John Clem got arrested. And so we're going to talk about that. On segment 3, we head live on Periscope for your hot takes, a.k.a. the battle for the grand prize. And sweet mother of Guillermo, John, we got a logjam at the top of the standings between hired ballerina, Lord of the Shits, some other guy I can't remember right now. It's hot take supremacy. Somebody's got to win it. Prediction scores, prediction updates, Cruisers versus New England Revolution, Hang On Tour, the AGS Attack War, and so much fucking more. Brought to you as always by benevolent corporate overlord sponsors Blood and Urine, and broadcasting live from the beautiful back room here at Zauber Brewing Company. My name is the continuing champion, Morgan Hughes, a.k.a. number 1 Handsy Boy. And I'm joined as always by the absentee amateur artist himself, Captain Jean-Luc the Wet Boy Zidar, and the Hollywood racist, Gregulator 614 himself, Greg Wesley Crusher Benson. Fellas, mapaches, lads from different dads, brothers from multiple mothers, and amigos de Guillermo. How in the goddamn hell have you been?
Mabwadi 2 Bootylicious, I believe, is the other name that you were thinking of from the hot take standings.
Phil Golfart.
Phil Golfart. We'll find out in segment 3, either way. Also, the perfectly formed PFGs. The PFGs.
Did I say that again?
That's exactly what you said.
Motherfucker!
Once again.
I can't. Yeah. I don't have my bag back from Aunt Kennedy yet, Greg. I'm out of my element.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to tell us all about it.
Fucking A. John Zidar, the Wet Boy. How you been, pal?
I've been good. Everybody calm down.
Been a
Put down the gun.
Yeah?
Untie the noose. I'm back. It's fine.
2-week hiatus. We had to put up with some Darby Schnarfuses. That was
I'm sorry.
Snarfy. That was awful.
There are so many other people that live in Columbus. You could literally have gotten anyone else.
That's very true, and I didn't. So, back to you.
Isn't that how we wound up with the cast that we've got? You could just pick anyone in Columbus.
Yeah, I don't. Whoa, shit! Look, listen.
Are we echoing a bit?
The intro's about to end. That's never happened.
Good show, everyone.
All right.
Oh, dude, I'll tell you what. John Clem's going to be really upset about that because he hates how long the fucking intro is. And screw that guy. What if I told you, John, that I was going to go ahead and unmute Channel 2 for the rest of our lives?
Oh. I assume that there's a celebrity guest.
That's right. Welcome, if you will, to the program, ladies and gentlemen. None other than Steve Abreu on tour. Zip 6.
Who is not on Channel 2, by the way.
He is not on Channel 2.
How's it going? Great to be here.
Good to be here as well. Good to see you. You tweeted before you got here that you were perhaps going to beat John Zidar to the recording of ACES Radio, which I thought, nah, that's not going to happen. There's no way. He's picking up a rental car. He's at the airport. And yet you did. Your thoughts?
Well, I left Boston about 5.5 hours ago. Gave myself just enough time to get here before Zidar. So
I heard you guys talking right before we started recording. Like, that was the thing that alerted you that it was Thursday.
I wouldn't have been here if he hadn't tweeted that. I totally forgot.
Greg, how long would we have sat here before somebody texted John?
I don't think it would have ever happened.
Jesus Christ, I can't believe you've
Like,
done
we
this.
would have got to, 9 o'clock. Eventually, would have knocked out some semblance of a show.
Sweet mother of God. Well,
And then would have been like, well,
It's
it's a
just
shame
been
that
a-
John didn't show up.
Yeah, so you guys
Wonder
have
what
been
happened
fine.
to
I
him.
haven't been here anyways. You wouldn't have even noticed.
no, it's true. I mean,
Shows you how much we missed you.
yeah.
That's fine.
Darby filled in admirably for you. I mean, he was
A lot of
late.
people are saying that he didn't, actually.
A lot of people
You're Brian
said-
Allen 87s.
He
You're,
didn't have
Oh,
much
is that
of
right?
he didn't have much of a standard to live up to be fair.
Brian Allen 87 has thoughts. Guess what?
He was... Oh, no?
Brian Allen 87. Okay, so housekeeping before we get into it. First thing I want to mention is that Zauber Brewing Company, our benevolent corporate overlord sponsors, have...
They kicking us out, finally?
Yeah, they sure are. So this is our last episode ever.
Long overdue.
No, they're doing some... Oliver described this to me in the parking lot, and I didn't catch most of it because
Fantastic.
he's friends
Sounds
with...
organized.
Yeah, he's friends with Frankie, so this is how his life works.
It all just happens in parking lots.
So they're building some sort of, home for children in Guatemala soon.
Who? Who's they?
I don't know.
Zauber?
Yes?
And Frankie.
Oliver and Frankie?
Oliver?
Oliver and Frankie.
Yeah.
That's where I
Oh,
told
they-
my wife where I was, building a home in Guatemala.
And it worked. And you chose Columbus.
Probably
You could have
smart
gone
because if you
anywhere.
found out you,
You're right.
just,
The
you were here
second
with
part
us,
of that
she'd
plan.
divorce you.
I didn't
Yeah,
follow through.
if she found out you were on ACES radio, she'd have been
way
mad.
worse.
as
Oh,
hell.
they
Way
wanting us
worse.
to help build the house?
No, so they. So what's going to happen is when they build this house, like I said, it's for kids or some shit. They're probably drunk, so we don't have to worry about childhood sobriety in this
The
instance.
kids? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you bring a soccer ball or a soccer jersey,
They know that's not how you build houses, right? With those are not materials used to build houses with.
I'd
It's
like
just a house made of soccer balls.
Maybe ask for 2x4s and nails.
the burden of proof is on the prosecution, John. You have to prove that that's not how you build houses. Pretty sure
built
that's
a
how it
house,
works.
so-
Yeah. So if you bring a soccer ball or a soccer jersey, it can be new, it can be used. It doesn't matter what shape it's in, as long as it's usable.
All right.
To Zauber Brewing Company from now until May 18th.
Let's maybe narrow it down there. The ball needs to be ball shaped. That the shape matters.
I mean, I'm more of
It
a
needs-
basketball
it
guy,
needs to be
John. So I don't
perfectly
really know.
They've got balls of tape and rocks down there they can kick if they want something weird shaped.
That's what I said. I'm like, if you want some, you kick rocks. We hate you. We're America.
Go kick rocks.
Yeah. Back to you. So no, if you drop off a soccer ball or a jersey now until May 18th, you get one free beer.
Where are they dropping it off? Just here at Zauber?
At Zauber Brewing Company, John. Bring it to the bartender and say, this is for the kids. I'm ending childhood sobriety. One ball at a time. You will get a free beer per donation.
Well, the balls are a circle.
Per donation or per item?
Per item. Did I say donation?
You did.
I don't think I did.
So if you bring in 3 balls, you get 3 beers.
1. Yep, absolutely.
And the balls are circular, for kids.
That's right. Because kids are what? Full of blood?
And
Something
urine.
like
A
that.
lot of people are saying they're selling their blood on the streets for urine. Greg, back to you.
Yeah, feel free to tweet at the show if you actually got that reference.
Yeah, no, but for real, I specifically asked Oliver with an Italian last name too hard to say. What if somebody brings
I think it's
62
too hard to
fucking
pronounce.
shirts?
I don't think it's the saying part. It's just the pronunciation.
Perfectly formed PFGs.
Pretty
yeah.
sure it's Convertini.
If you bring 26
actually quite easy.
soccer jerseys, you get 26 beers. There are no
Well, nobody
limits.
needs that many beers.
That's not true. Have you hung out
You
with
couldn't even drink that
Murderers
many.
Row?
Yeah, and then there's 2 local rec teams wondering what the hell happened to their jerseys the next day.
Everybody's going to laugh about that.
I'm
in a
just
second,
gonna
Greg.
bring in all the
Nope,
crew
turns out they
union
fucking
pickup
hate
shit.
you. Wonderful. So bring something, donate something, help kids. We're going to cure childhood sobriety by 2020.
And maybe build them a house at some
Yeah.
point,
We're
apparently.
going to build houses out of shirts. It's going to be fucking great. Second thing we want to talk about is fuck Air Canada. I was recently in the old country.
I thought you said
Yeah.
Eric Cantona.
Eric Cantona.
I was like, why? You don't even know who that is.
Eric Cantona's listening to this going, yes, well, fuck Moga News too.
I'm Eric Cantona. I am from Peru. I'm Peruvian. Why do you people hate me? I don't work for the airlines. Back
All
to
right,
me.
go on.
Anyway, fuck Eric Cantona.
I was supposed to land in Columbus, Ohio, capital city, on Monday at 5 p.m. I did not. I won't tell you when I landed. I will say that it was sometime around Tuesday at 3:30 in the morning, but I still don't have my fucking bags. Yeah, it's Thursday night. Fuck Air Canada.
You should have stayed over there. I don't know if you've been following the news.
Dude, they lost it in fucking Toronto, though. It made it to Toronto. It's not like it
Should have stayed in Toronto.
No one does that. Except the Trillium Cup.
Wait, your baggage made it made half the trip?
Yeah, it got to
Now
Toronto.
it's gone?
Yeah.
You missing anything other than clothes?
My fucking crew track jacket.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're wearing one.
Yeah, but this is.
I was going to
different
say,
one.
which crew track jacket?
Right.
You're going to have to be
Was
a
it
lot
one
more
you just
specific.
bought at the gear sale?
That was literally the first thing that Abreu on tour said when he got here. Was he made some wisecrack about nobody appreciated that comment, and a lot of people are asking you to delete both your accounts on Big Soccer and Twitter. Back to you. That's it. That's it.
That's it. That's the end.
Yeah.
Air Canada lost your luggage because that's never happened to
What was in the
anybody.
luggage, though? I mean, all of Pam's shoes or half or what?
No, funny you should mention that. They did deliver a bag to my office yesterday, and it was Pam's. It wasn't mine.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Where's that bag now?
It's
probably on the
which part of the floor?
It is. I stopped by the house to get the equipment for the show, and it was fucking opened, and everything was just in the middle of our dining room.
Lovely.
So in terms of mild conveniences, you've been mildly inconvenienced.
They literally.
It's not like you went to Fire Festival, for fuck's sake. I mean,
Relevant. I like that. Greg.
That
Keep
festival
going, Greg.
was as
This is great.
successful as Chicago's last season.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Moving the fuck on to Cruisers FC versus NYCFCSC. That was a game that happened over the weekend. John, I was in the old country of Europe for it, but myself, a celebrity fan, Mike Kuhn, we found a way to watch it. Pam was passed out in the bed. I know that you asked for my MLS Live credentials so you can get caught up on the game. And I'm not going to go to you first because you have a mouthful of Cheetos. Greg
Almonds.
Benson, the Hollywood racist.
yeah.
I'm going to go to you first, my friend. Your thoughts on Cruisers FC, NYCFCSC.
I have very little to offer on the game as well because I didn't watch it. I was actually at the theater that night. But
so was I.
yeah, well,
It's
you
the
know.
best crew podcast. Nobody fucking watches the game.
No, it's it's
Morgan,
not.
I watched
Is
the
it
game.
really?
I'd
a
like to go to
Columbus
our
game?
guest
Yeah,
panelist.
can we defer to the one guy who actually?
Well,
tuned
Morgan,
in,
it was
paid
terrible.
attention?
Let me tell you.
Steve
Yeah, there we
Abreu,
go.
back to you. Your
John. We didn't
thoughts.
miss shit.
No, it was another weak ass performance, especially at the center of the park.
Yep.
You know, I don't know what Will Trapp is doing. He needs to boss some people
Whose
around.
ass specifically was the weakest?
Probably Mohamed
But
Abu.
Abu.
What a surprise.
Probably he was the worst. But
bad.
I think we're missing a midfield boss type player.
Bows.
We haven't had one in a few weeks.
Pandering to Scott Sedley will get you nowhere. We'll get you either somewhere to the top of the blood point standings, tune in to find out in segment 3, or nowhere. No, Mohamed Abu, I rewatched the game. I got a little bit of it on a legal internet stream because MLS Live has figured out how to not allow me to use my VPN to watch it. Mohamed Abu was a fucking catastrophe. Lazy. Everything that
He's
guy
not
does.
good, man. He's
Huh?
not good. He's not good.
No, he's just...
And he's getting paid a ton of money. We
Yeah.
could be using
And-
other
oh, is he?
players. Yeah, $160,000 at least, I think.
The only good thing I can say about him is at least he got so much playing time at the beginning of his career with Cruisers FC that we can go, yeah, absolutely not. Your thoughts, Steve?
Well, I think he's had his run out. That's enough,
Yeah.
okay? And the problem is we have a coach that doesn't like to make changes from game to game. He's got 2 games coming up this week that hopefully Mr. Abu can see the bench and we can try someone else.
Who's the answer?
I will say.
Right, who do you put in?
I mean,
his
at this
place?
point, I think I got to imagine you maybe see Jimenez, but I did see Berhalter say that he was considering Ness there again.
Yeah.
So that's promising. He did well last year when he played there. But then again, does that mean Williams plays center back until
did
Cornelius
he do
back?
well or did he just not do terribly?
I think he did well.
Which is, you know, the club's missing some bite in the midfield. You know, your Danny O'Rourke's, the traditional, you know,
Jesus.
you had your Guillermo and then you had your O'Rourke. So if something didn't go right, you had someone to win the ball back. And Chani, you know, performed that role for a while. We just don't have that right now.
Yeah.
And, you know, Matthew Doyle was killing Abu on Twitter, basically.
saw that, yeah.
He's killing
was
him.
he?
That jog about, you
Oh,
know,
man.
at New York City's second goal, at first goal. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
2 yards behind him, like, watching the play.
Yeah.
Best seat in the house.
Yeah.
I got real worried when Artur went down 2 weeks ago, whenever
Yeah.
that was, because I was just
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
that
yeah.
is the midfield.
For sure.
If you
That's
would
the
have,
midfield.
if you would have been told at the beginning of the year before the first game that you know against Metro Stars we were going to lose Alex Crognale, who was at that time better known as a distant cousin of International Soccer's Liberty Gangster Crew Baby, and our tour, and it would completely fucking change our lives. We'd be like, yeah, okay, bro, yeah, whatever you're drinking, I'll have 2 of those. But to me, Riatala played like absolute fucking trash garbage. His turnover specifically led to the first goal, and he managed to get back to defend. Who was it? Maxi, whatever the fuck his name is. Whoever finished it, that was his dude too. So he caused the turnover, and then he ran back to get back on D and paid no attention to the guy in his area.
Track his
Well,
runner.
we got to call Harrison awful out here too for that square ball.
Yeah.
I mean, just kick the ball upfield. If you have nowhere to go with it, I mean, the problem is that the players are afraid to clear the ball once in a while.
Yeah.
And it's just leading to turnovers that end up right in the back of the net. So it's so funny because this season's been so strange. You know, we go on a winning run. We look, okay, well, we turned a corner here, and I think that Artur had a lot to do with that.
Absolutely.
But without him and without Crognale, it looks like the 2016 crew. And Jonathan Mensah is not living up to the billing.
I mean, the third goal was his guy. And I mean, dude, I don't know. So I was thinking about this today, like, and I'm not a Berhalter hater. I really think Greg does a good job on a lot of levels. Now, he has no fucking idea how to use the substitutions, which I think he actually finally admitted to today in a piece by Patrick Murphy on masterreport.com. Go to that, /Hot Deals. It's right there.
Which is not coming up and cracking the code, unfortunately.
Yeah, but I would argue that maybe that guy has no idea what a competent center back looks like, because if you're talking like Krognall, well, he came up through the academy. Greg had no, he had nothing to do with his...
Did
That's
Greg
a
bring
terrifying
Sauer in?
suggestion, considering that he is made a career being a competent center back.
Right?
Yeah.
But did
You'd
he bring,
think of any
did he bring
position.
Sauer in? Gaston Sauer?
Yeah.
Him into
Yeah.
Greg.
Yeah, that
so
was
he's
him.
not bad. I mean, he's out, obviously.
True. But tell me the difference between Michael Parkhurst and Jonathan Mensah, except their height and their fucking salary.
Yeah, $300,000. I mean, yeah.
The team actually seems to play. I don't know if correlation implies causation here, but the
does.
team seems to actually play worse when Mensah's in the lineup. I'm not sure what, like, as far as results are concerned, number of goals conceded is concerned.
I mean,
I don't know if that's got anything to do with it specifically. There's
Well,
other
John,
factors.
I thought
I'm
there
sure,
were
but-
parts. I mean, I didn't really get to watch a lot of this game other than some of the highlights, but
Yeah, you've
and then-
seen it before, though, in 2016, like 8 times.
Sure.
Another come from ahead loss.
I'm just speaking like specifically to Mensah. I thought that some of like the first games, the first 2 where he was playing before Cronale appeared, I thought that there was some potential there. I thought specifically the first home game, the opening game, I thought he played quite well. I thought he did. So I think he's got the talent, and like
I don't think he's bad.
No,
He's just not.
I think you got to kind of also remember, like, this was his first game back after what did he miss, a month? I mean,
Well,
not to
being
say that that's an excuse. He's a designated player guy. He should be
Well, he
able
wasn't
to.
the worst guy on the field. I mean,
Okay.
No,
I
that
don't
was
think.
that
I
was a
think
combination of Abu, Raitala, and Harrison Awful.
Yeah.
Harrison Awful is taking a shit this year. And John, I know that's your boy. I know he scored 26 goals in 2015. So how do you make up for that offensive production? But I'd like you to defend him, because that guy looks like absolute trash this year. Back to you.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
Well, the other thing, too, is, we get Kakuta Mane and then
Thanks,
bring
Sean.
him on for Schoenfeld minutes.
Yeah. 10 minutes.
Let's see what he can do.
Right. I mean, the first substitution came in the 81st minute, right?
Yeah.
Why?
And Greg had even said that the tide had turned 20 minutes
Yeah.
prior.
Yeah.
And then I forget who it was, but someone went out with
That was Raitala.
Raitala.
Yeah.
I heard he was
6
out for like
minutes.
10 minutes or something like
what
that.
are we doing?
Yeah.
Trying to stitch his head back up. or
6
something.
minutes. He tried to
Right,
come back
yeah.
in once, and they're like, "No, you have too much blood on you." And he tries to go get that fixed. Like, motherfucker, get someone else in there. Jesus Christ, Waylon Francis is better and literally plays the same position. What are we doing?
I
Yeah.
hate to suggest that this might be a thing, but what happens if Mane becomes like a Cedric Mabwadi kind of player? He's brought in as this super sub or whatever, and gets completely underused, and we don't ever see the true value, and he winds up moving on.
Well,
But I mean, if he's not playing, where's he going to go?
it's such a waste of the Kamara money. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly,
Yeah.
the Kamara trade, and we don't have to talk about the effects on the field, but, we get the Gam and Tam. We give Miram a raise, well-deserved.
Trapper raise.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Ethan Finley might have got some cash.
Yep.
We get, obviously, Dilly Duca, world beater. And
Wonderful.
then
Love that guy.
Oh my god, I
And
forgot
then-
he was even on the team until you just said his
So
name.
did he.
Holy shit.
He forgets every week.
And then we get Kakuta Mana for a year, right? Because he's a free agent, I think,
Yeah.
after this year.
Yeah.
And if we don't play him, he's not staying.
No.
So,
And I think, Greg, you said, like, what happens if he becomes a Cedric Mabwadi? I think it's more likely that he becomes a what's his nuts? Emmanuel Pogatetz. That says one fucking thing out of Berhalter's line, and then he never sees the goddamn 18 again because he
yeah.
said something bad.
Yeah, but at some point, like how many times can that happen before like pre-court goes, okay, dude, you're wasting a lot of money on these people that say one thing and you get all pissy about it. Like,
That's a rhetorical question, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, this is the crew. This isn't crew Twitter, for crying out loud.
Crew SC, Greg.
Crew
$16.
SC.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Crew
$32 actually. Because
well, Robert
was.
Warzia had a notorious doghouse, and once you got in there, you could never get out.
That's
and
true.
there were a lot of reasons why Robert Warzia was not the right coach, but that was one of them. And
At least
so-
his was
I
like
wish he'd have taken that
performance-
doghouse instead of leaving it here.
At least his was like a performance on a Thursday practice. At least there was some sort of like field, related thing. Even though guys like Guillermo and what's his nuts? Jesus, I can't think of anything today. Like
Mendoza.
Yeah, Andres Mendoza.
Edward
Andres
Gavin.
Mendoza.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kevin Burns. at least, they're like, fuck it, dude. Like, you're not going to bench us. It just seems like, and again, I'm not shitting on Greg. It just seems like anytime you
you can shit on Greg. This is a safe space.
I don't want to. I like the guy. And again,
you can like the guy and still think he does a bad job.
I've said on this fucking podcast before, which I remind you is the number 17 Bills podcast in the Outer Battle 270.
God, we're getting way worse.
That I am incapable of being, having a relevant take about Greg Berhalter because I like him as a person. Let's talk about the good things. There were good things that happened on the field on Saturday, and one of them was it looked like Federico Higuain was 21 years old again. From the opening possession, the opening kick, that first foray down the field, he was making people look silly and stupid. He had an unbelievable half volley with his left foot, which I think he fucking discovered.
I was like, whoa.
Do you think he even knew he had a left foot until that game? And then he had that dummy for the goal that Ola scored.
That dummy did something to the PFGs.
I bet it did. So, John, if you're looking for positives from Saturday, it would be that it looks like we may have a re-engaged and a younger Federico Higuain. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the offense still looks quite promising. I think it's the defense again that seems to be the problem, and I don't know if it's just like a consistency issue with the center backs just like rotating nonstop almost at this point. And now Artur being out, but his bite in the midfield I think is just going to continue to really hurt us. Or the absence of it, I guess.
God,
I mean, just like even 90th minute, he's still making full field sprints and
at least
6 weeks.
They said at least 3 games, and it's been that. So I don't know.
I'm sure we're not the only fan base that does it, but I love paying attention to the shifting narrative every single week of the Crew season, which is, man, we're a really good defensive team when Croggonile Hunter is in the lineup, and then he gets hurt, and now it's, oh geez, we're getting bossed, but hey, the offense still looks good. We're giving up a ton of goals now, where before it was, oh man, our defense is so watertight. And whatever it happens to be is
Brian 87's here.
Let me ask you this
Derby
question.
service hater himself.
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best player on the team right now, playing the best?
Jesus.
Artur.
Okay, well, I would think. Let me just advocate for Justin Miram, which I know might be unpopular.
Yeah, no,
Justin
go ahead.
Miram
People are probably
beasting it
very
this
excited about
season.
that. Nope, turns out they hate you. Yeah.
What the hell? You bring your own audience?
Oh yeah, I came prepared.
Fantastic.
Best guest ever.
What was that?
It's my little sound machine.
Oh my god, he's got his own board. Oh shit.
I bet he didn't have to pay nearly as much for that
Dueling
either.
drops.
Dueling.
GCG bag Tyler. Oh my god. Can you control, or is it just random?
No, I got
He's
16
got like
buttons.
a bunch of buttons there.
Oh my god, that's better than anything we've ever used. And it looks like it costs 68 cents.
On Amazon with Prime.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
All right, my point about
best
Miram.
player on
With
the,
Prime, he got that an hour ago.
I think Miram's the best player on the team right now.
So how come he goes 80 minutes? Why is he the first one off?
He's gone 90 a couple times this season.
A couple times.
Yeah. But it's notable when he goes 90. That's the statistical outlier when he actually plays the entire game.
Is he not match fit?
I can't imagine that he doesn't have the endurance for it.
I can't either.
I gotta assume it's a Greg decision.
I think he's stuck in a rut. I mean, he always came off in the 80th minute, so therefore when the 80th minute runs around and Greg's like, who do I take off?
Well, could you argue that is a position where fresh legs could be utilized the most?
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
I think it's like that's one of the strongest positions I think in our strategy of attack. So I can understand why he'd want fresh people, but
Pippa is what, 10 years older than Justin Miram?
Sure,
I mean,
yeah.
Wouldn't that make more sense? Move Miram in the middle
Centrally.
and then bring Mana on so he can play off Kamara, maybe? I don't know. I mean, that's a total change to go 2 up front, but why not?
No, I mean, hindsight is always 20/20, but when you, especially considering the situation we have with Kakuta Mane, where not only are people demanding to see him, he's demanding to get minutes, and you bring him on in the 81st, and you're down a goal, and New York is bunkering, and it's like, dude, you're never going to see.
I mean, he's the kind of player that could make something happen with that limited amount of time, but you want to give him more. You don't want to have to make him do something in 9 minutes.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, 2 games this week, he ought to get a start, I would think.
I would hope so, yeah.
One of the reasons I likened him to Mabwadi before is that the whole idea, or what everyone was excited about when Mabwadi came along was this is a guy that you can put on like 60, 65th minute to run at tired defenders. You've got that not just fresh legs of any player, but a guy who's actually got some speed and can burn the defense, especially as the game drags on. I'm wondering if this is the same concept for Mane for the same reason.
He caused.
The thing that really baffles me is that Greg has been preaching this thing about him needing to get fitter and fitter and fitter, and then if he's supposedly now this superhuman, ultra fit guy, why are you only playing him for 9 minutes? Yeah. This dude should be able to run for fucking 180.
He wasn't fit enough to make the 18 in the last away game.
No shit.
Right.
Give me what's going on?
This isn't a guy that
and he was playing
in
full games in Vancouver before he came here, so he wasn't that out of shape.
Playing Champions League games.
Yeah. The way you hear it from the brass, it's like, oh, it was a Stern John level, like he's been down in Trinidad and Tobago for 15 years.
He's just been eating plantains, nothing but plantains.
Fly his ass in for the 20-year anniversary, and he's like, I forget what it's like to get on a plane. I've been sitting for so long. He was fucking playing for Vancouver.
They played up the acquisition like it was the next Stern John. Okay, that's Berhalter's in charge of the acquisitions, and then Berhalter, the coach, doesn't give the guy the run out.
Yeah. Unbelievable. A lot of people are saying that is a conspiracy. Back to you, John. Yep.
I'm not saying
you got nothing.
Moving
the fuck on to color impressions, an ACES radio tradition, much like the marching band of the University of who we got? Northwestern? Yeah, Northwestern. I haven't mentioned them. Yeah, they're really smart. Guy from my high school went there.
What are you talking about right now?
Thanks, John. Back to you.
I'm sure someone from UA went there.
Yeah, Jeff Backus. He's a communist. He's a traitor. He helped the Wildcats beat Ohio State in 2003.
Okay.
Four. Greg Benson, I go to you first. The color impressions of Cruisers FC, NYCFC, my friend.
Wow. Yeah. That was very random. Just for that, I'm going with Northwestern Purple was my color impression. For no other reason. I didn't even watch the game. It was either that or Red Velvet.
Wonderful. Great to have you back. Steve Abreu on tour, a.k.a. Zip6. You know him from Big Soccer. I've given him many reps over the years. Your color impressions of Cruisers FC, NYCFCSC.
I'm going to go with mud.
Yeah, mud's a color. Is it a color, John?
Yeah, that's a type of brown.
Is that right? Yeah, I've never seen that in my Crayola box.
Pants, well, how many? 64 or 128?
I'm going to graduate to something else.
I can't count. Can't read, can't count. John Zadar.
Just one of those 4-packs from a restaurant.
Oh, you've seen it? You've seen it?
I've seen it, yeah.
It's pretty good. I mean, I got blue, I got red.
You did great with it, yeah.
I've eaten the other two, but it might have been purple and mud. John Zadar, the wet boy, your color impression.
I'm going to go with black, which I think will be the color of our tour, our Savior's cast when he returns.
Ooh, what a good betting line that would be. What color is his cast going to be?
We can't get it any more wrong than we're getting score predictions wrong. So.
I bet it's fucking black because we never wear our home jerseys anymore. Like, why do we even have these fucking things? Greg Benson.
For the excitement of, oh my God, the yellow jerseys
maybe
are back, I must buy one.
If you all hadn't shat your pants over the yellow jerseys, maybe you wouldn't have to look at them so often.
You said you all, and then you kept going back and forth between Greg and I with your eyes.
Well, there's no one else to look at but Steve.
And I didn't buy a new
And I don't recall whether he shat himself or not. So.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Great to have you back, wet boy. So I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I think I'm going to switch up my color impression this week. My color impression of Cruisers FC, NYCFC, is the color...
Yellow Beach, Columbus Crew.
That's right, John, yellow.
Like one of your crayons?
Yes, exactly. Like
the one you ate.
Crew SC. Oh. And I owe not $16 to the front office, just like Greg does. Sorry. That's it.
Greg Berhalter?
Yeah. Your thoughts?
I believe it's pronounced
Bergmaherger. John, what if I told you there was a cure for the scourge? That was a mispronouncing, soccer supporting director.
This is a quote from him?
Supporting director.
Is that the cure?
Pretty sure that's a capo.
It absolutely is. And they say that cure is otherwise known as knowledge.
And now,
Whoop-de-doo.
an ACES radio exclusive.
What does it all mean, Panther?
Cracking the code. They say it.
Everything we do is for the city.
What?
We explain it.
Who we are is for the city.
I understand you.
You reap the benefits.
What? They speak English and what? What? English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yeah!
And it's all for Columbus.
For Columbus, indeed, Steve Abreu. Lovely to have you here. I can't wait to talk all about you in segment 2. Before we do that, however, I want to talk about some cracking the code bullshit that I found on the internet today. You know what that is, John?
Bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the poop that comes out of a cow.
Yeah, that's right. What's Marissa's name on Fox Sports To Go or whatever? She's like the host with Neil Sika. And
I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
She came to Tifo Sweat last year and interviewed you because you're a big deal. She's like, what's your favorite?
Did you just say, what is that girl Marissa's name?
Yeah, what's her last name?
I have no fucking idea.
Soccer Soccer
girl.
Soccer
Marissa
boy?
Girl Soccer.
Yeah.
Video
Marissa
lady.
McSockers.
Rachel Bonetta. Whoa, take it easy. Don't get a boner, Steve.
Too
Jeez.
late.
Table like almost flipped there.
Blood just ran out of his face. The question comes from Marissa, and it is as follows in 3, 2, 1.
You have New England here twice in the matter
No,
of
that's
weeks.
Chris Landis.
Just had Toronto. You're going to have them 2 more times before the month is over.
Boom. Roasted.
You can't fucking do that shit, man. I don't know how it comes back from that. Jesus Christ. I don't know if the Mavs report recorded this week. They'll probably have to delete their episode in 3, 2, 1.
You have New England here twice in the matter of weeks. You just had Toronto, and then you're going to have them 2 more times before the month is over. Is there an extra awareness, I guess, of playing a team that many times in a short amount of stretch? Like, do you have to try to keep things fresh and kind of keep them guessing? I mean, I know you take it one game at a time.
Yeah, it's weird. The league schedules opponents sometimes in short succession, and it's difficult because we're playing New England and Toronto 4 times in 5 games or something. It's interesting. I mean, it turns into almost like a little playoff series, and you're very familiar with the opponent for a short time, and then we won't see Toronto again until playoffs potentially. So it's strange, but it's something you just deal with, and we're used to dealing with it. We always do Chicago back to back. We've done other teams, NYC, I think a couple years ago back to back. So it's odd, but it's something you deal with.
Steve Abreu on tour. This to me sounds like Greg Berhalter is giving a big middle finger to the MLS schedule makers. Your thoughts, my friend?
That seemed to me like a dumb answer to a dumb question, Morgan.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Keeping perfectly informed with how Cracking the Code is going so far this year. Greg Benson, what did you take away from that, my friend?
I took away from that the fact that Greg Berhalter said the word secession. I'm sure he meant to say succession.
I think he meant secession.
Yeah, he used secession not in reference to an Atlanta game.
I love hearing Greg Berhalter talk. His accent is unplaceable, and it's fantastic.
It sounds like he spent some time in New Jersey, but not a lot.
Yes, exactly, dude. He says I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I'll repeat it again. He says some words like an inner city, like 4th grade girl. He'd be like, "We're very excited to have Dayton Dutch Lions coming in this week." Like, what the fuck? Where did that come from?
I've never heard him like
those,
that.
huh?
I've missed that interview.
I've asked him to say Dayton before, and he's like, Dayton? What are you talking about? I'm like, did you not hear yourself say Dayton? There's a Z and a T at the beginning of it. Jesus Christ. John Zadar, your thoughts on the Cracking the Code clip?
There's a lot of weird word usage from both parties in that clip.
Yeah.
Not really sure. Maybe go to a grammar class.
What was
or
the one
something.
we were looking at each other?
I don't know what Chris Landis said at the beginning, but it was not like the right use of a phrase or something.
Yeah.
Something about stretching.
Well, yeah, over I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I will say this of Marissa. She is clearly from somewhere
a long
in
stretch
Cleveland.
a long space of stretch or something.
Yeah, it was not right.
She has that she has that Great Lakes accent that anybody that is from an area near the Great Lakes has. All this to say, I respect the shit out of Neil Sika because he lost his. He's from Strongsville. He's Strongsville's finest. And I have friends from Strongsville, and they say the word milk like malk. Yeah, it's horrible.
Milk?
Yeah. My mom asked me to go to a store, got milk.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's called Cleveland, brah.
No.
Yeah, it is. It's real shit.
I've been there a lot lately. Nobody sounds like that.
Yeah. Fuck this segment. Moving on to Man Balls, a tradition unlike any other ACES radio. I remind you as always,
balls.
it's a combination of Man of the Malk
Man of the Malk.
and Malk Balls.
And Malk balls.
Milk of the Malk.
Chocolate Malk balls.
Far too
My favorite Halloween candy. Yeah, would you like to finish?
Far too Medina for my liking. Greg Benson, I go to you first. The Hollywood races. If you're at Hen Dog's Pub and you're sitting in a chair, he's going to sit on you. He's going to put his butt in your lap. That's what he does. It's why he has to check in with the municipalities wherever he goes due to Caitlin's Law. Your thoughts, your color impressions, your Man Balls
like
of the
that.
week, whatever you want to give out.
We are going far further down the rabbit hole than I was expecting or wanting. My malted Malk balls go to first to Ethan Finley. I thought he had a decent game. From what I saw, he contributed to what at the time was the go-ahead goal.
Yeah.
So he had a pretty good game.
That one clip will lead you to believe that, correct?
Yeah. that one small 30-second stretch that I watched.
Yeah.
Second man ball is going to Milos Ninkovic of Sydney FC, who was awarded the Player of the Year.
So his name is Stinkovic?
Milos Ninkovic. But yeah, let's go with Stinkovic. Why not? I'm sure he won't be offended at all. You know, all you're doing is just mispronouncing his name that his mother gave him. I'm sure she's a wonderful lady.
Tough shit's been happening to me all my life.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Zyder.
You'll get no sympathy from me. Hughes, Hughes, that's real
No
shit.
one
that
mispronounces your name.
Shut
No
up.
one mispronounces
You
yours
silver spooner
ever.
bitch.
Literally yesterday.
Except maybe Eric Cantona.
Okay, literally yesterday at the Pins bowling alley downtown.
Yeah.
They were
Oh,
giving
it's
us
because you were at a
instructions.
hipster place, and they were like, this guy's named ironically.
Well, I was the first one, and they're like, okay, so
Girl name, Morgan Hughes.
is going to walk up there, and she's just going to do it once, and then she gets 2 other tries. I'm like, how dare you, sir? Steve Abreu on tour, a.k.a. Zip6. You'll know him from big soccer forums. He's always upping the lads. He's won Grouchy points. My God, sweet Jesus. When will the realest fan contest end? Your man balls of the week, my friend.
Got to give one to Pippa. Definitely his best game in a while. I was going to give one to Bobo, but even Greg didn't do that. So I'm thinking maybe Guillermo, the true greatest player in Columbus Crew SC history.
Happy birthday to him, indeed.
Birthday ball.
That's right. That's right. A lot of things. And this is also the anniversary of Higuain's first Peepa chip. So a lot of important Cruisers FC shit happened on this day. John Zadar, the wet boy. Hollywood racist, Worf from Star Trek The Next Generation, as they're calling you. Your man balls of the week, my friend.
It's a hostile takeover of my ship while I was gone.
The Klingon does not ask questions.
I am going to give a man ball to Higuain. Like I said, I only saw the highlights, but it looked like he was on fire, and you guys corroborated my belief.
Truth.
And then I guess I'm going to give the other one to, I don't know, Ola Kamara, I guess. It looked like he had a decent game. He got that goal. I know he had another one that was quite close.
Yeah, Sean Johnson made save the fucking game on
Yeah,
that thing. That
so
should've been a goal.
that's what I'm going to do there.
All right, one for Peepa, one for Ola Kamara. My first man ball goes to Federico Higuain, Cruisers FC for being a goal scorer. And my second man ball, I'm going to switch this up this week, is not going to Andres Mendoza, Greg. What? That's right. It's going to Cowtown Ben Beachy. He set up all the banners in the Nordeck this week.
Oh, shit. Thank God.
Yeah, because I was out of town. Is that applause?
Yeah,
I thought it was like
think
dice.
it was.
I thought it was somebody like shaking dice. Yeah, no, it's what you're looking
Having
for. is this.
flashbacks to when you used to throw the bones in the alley.
That's right. On the mean streets of Upper
The mean
Arlington.
streets of Upper Arlington.
Yeah. I'm from the streets, John.
Out back behind the Tommy's Pizza.
See, people are like, "Oh, your streets have to be rough and like hard ass to be from them." No, I'm from streets. They're just
softer.
Yeah, they're
Right.
just,
And
like,
paved with gold.
They're just repaved every year.
yeah, it's just easy to walk down them, and you don't get threatened.
Yeah.
Like I'm still from streets. How fucking dare you?
Please move out of the street now. There's a parade happening.
That's right.
And if you do
Come
get
back.
threatened, you can respond with, "You can't arrest me. My dad's a lawyer."
Yeah.
Unbelievable, Greg. How dare you? Unfortunately, we don't have time to go into Laxbro talk or drive our Jeep Wranglers because it's time to go to break. If you've enjoyed the shit lordery in segment 1, which took 38 minutes, holy Christ, to get through, I've got some great news. We got Steve Abreu on tour coming up in segment 2. We're going to talk about John Clem being in prison. We're going to talk about beards and how you hide shivs in them. Brian Allen 87's here, and you are listening to episode 44 of ACES Radio.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Now we blasting off into the ozone. The way we kick it in the dojo is local for show. Though we paving the road that's opposed to the dojo. Going over your head like a top hat. Stop that. I know you hear me spitting these hot raps. Now watch that beat, cause it's about to drop. The Rockets is the 09 jump off. Yeah, your last name Pan, first name Peter. I know you see me playing and you want me to teach you, but I stay elevated so that all God's creatures can hear me shout it out like my name is Aretha. Getting RESPECT. Fly by, see the looks on your faces. Cause I'm in full EFFECT. Jet setting on a daily basis. David F. Man, don't stop. David. Don't stop. We came to rock it till the city takes off. Mr. Captain, yeah. I'm an ace pilot, yeah. I wanna spin my wings and fly. To all the people in coach, yeah. And to my first class folks, yeah. We'll show you how to scrape the sky. Yeah. As the curvature of the earth takes shape, fly fast forward like a videotape and no cape. Just follow my jet stream, proud in the clouds on the boom in your precinct. I'll have no trampoline, black box in the pocket of my jet jeans. Shine with the stars so bright, even NYC sees me. Get that?
Yeah, baby. It's episode 44 of ACES Radio. You've made a tragic mistake to stick with us from segments 1 to segment 2. The trick is on you, Greg, as they say in the industry. Fan-fucking-tastic. Welcome back to Zauber Brewing Company, ladies and gentlemen. It's ACES Radio. John Zadar, the wet boy. You are in the know right now, and what is happening behind you as we speak?
There's some sort of Schnarfus family reunion or something. I don't.
There is. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of segment 2 of ACES Radio, your celebrity guest Steve Abreu momentarily will be upon us. However, I do want to pay attention to what's happening behind John Zadar right now, and that is we have Darby Schnarfus' parents here.
Have they come to apologize?
Well, I'd like to give them the opportunity to. But first, I have to say this.
Alert. Darby Schnarfus has entered the game.
Darby Schnarfus, ladies and gentlemen. John, why don't you get your microphone?
Oh, you want me to do a man on the street segment
here? A lot of people are calling you the best man on the streets.
It's not wireless, Morgan. How far can I go?
Well, only time will tell.
How long is the cord? I guess we're about to find out.
Tune in the segment right now to find out. Why don't you go interview some people and find out?
Oh, what am I asking?
Well, just
I'm really worried that I'm not going to make it there.
There's slack. There was almost a beer on the floor.
Darby, walk up to the microphone, Darby, and explain to us what's happening here.
No.
Fake John Zadar talking to real John Zadar. This is a rare treat right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
No, sorry, that automatically plays.
So as it turns out, my parents are in town here for a few days.
Okay.
Not because of anything I have to do with it. It's purely coincidental.
Yeah, sure. You've done nothing.
I've done nothing to deserve.
Right. There's no accomplishments that they would be here to celebrate.
Imagine the surprise when they found out you weren't even on ACES Radio this week.
Yeah.
Right. So they said, what's the way we can spend the least time with him? Let's come in the middle of the work week, right?
What's that all
we'll
about?
come in Wednesday night, we'll leave first thing Friday morning.
Okay.
But I said, haha, joke's on you.
That's right.
The people at work do
Tricks
not
on you,
value
Darby.
me, so I can leave whenever I want. So I took off a little early today. I'm like, let's do some good things in Columbus. So we went to the conservatory, and then I said, what's the worst part of Columbus? How can I absolutely let them know that they should never come back again?
Right.
You said Brian Allen 87.
I said, ACES Radio.
Wonderful.
And so here they are in all of the awfulness that is this garbage podcast.
Well, where are they traveling from?
They live in Florida.
Okay.
They're going to spend a couple days here. They're going to Dayton.
What does that jacket say?
Oh,
Come on over here. Talk to let your son interview. And that says, "This boat rocks. Dragon Boat Team. The Villages, Florida."
Right. My mom was in the Villages newspaper, both for being an awesome dragon boatess. Is that the technical term, dragon boatess? I think it is, yeah. She is a dragon diva, apparently. And also for being like an amazing dispatcher for when all the old people in the villages get rowdy. She handles the midnight calls, sending out the cops to tell them to not be assholes. Yeah.
Jesus
Christ.
Christ.
It's pretty hardcore. Say hi, Mom.
That's pretty good.
Hi, Mom.
Okay, so what was your name again? I'm sorry, I forgot it already.
I'm Linda.
Linda, nice to meet you. Defend yourself, if you will. You have given birth to and raised an extraordinarily terrible human being in Darby Schnarfus. What do you have to say for yourself?
This is why I only had one child.
Boom. Roasted.
I don't know how he comes back from that, John. Unbelievable. Well, it's good to have you guys here. I welcome you to the program. Thanks for tuning in to the number 17 Buffalo Bills podcast.
Speaking of which, they are actually going up to the Buffalo area after this. So they're going to carry the gospel of ACES Radio to the Buffalo homeland.
You want to talk about rough lads. You go to Columbus, Ohio, home of the best Capos in MLS. Best home atmosphere they've ever seen last week. Then you go to Buffalo, home of the Bills ANC, home of John Bon Jovi. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, this is basically, what else is there in life after this?
I don't know, because I always say Bon Jovi and Capos are my two things. So, Darby Schnarfus, thank you for stopping by the program. Thank you for bringing your parents. Thank you for bringing your wonderful girlfriend, Kristen. I've been on Norton tour buses with her. Let me tell you what, we had no toilet paper. It was very disgusting.
I would love to have listened in on the conversation where Darby tried to explain to his parents exactly what this is. So that soccer team that I thought, yeah. Okay, so I'm on a radio show that's not actually on the radio. Like, you can't listen to it in the car, but it's kind of... And we're not actually affiliated with the team. We kind of just do this in the background. Yeah, we're at a bar. and in the back room, like a brewery.
That's right.
Yeah. So how about it?
And they said we have.
And
no
here
option.
they are.
He said, "Is it something that we have to be quiet during, which means we don't have to talk to you?" Yes, we'll go to it.
Or Darby Schnarfus or his parents, who are much better looking than he is. How'd that happen? No one can be sure. Moving on to the meat and potatoes of segment 2. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, welcome to the program, Steve Abreu. Steve Abreu. Welcome to ACES Radio.
Morgan, so nice to be in the Altogether Less Fashionable.
I'm glad you got ahead of it this time and unmuted his microphone.
Well,
Thank
it feels good to be had, John. Let me tell you that. So before we get into the questions, I feel like we've been mispronouncing your name the entire time.
Oh,
it's Steve.
Steve.
I
That
knew
is
it.
correct, John.
I knew it. So
Steve Abreu is my crew personality. So when you
Okay.
say Steve Abreu, referring to crew
Zip
personality,
six.
then you are saying it correctly.
Yeah. How
But
is
lawyers-
Abreu actually pronounced?
We say Abreu.
Abreu?
Yeah,
Abreu.
yeah. I know it's not as cool. I say
That's the most beer culture thing I've
I
ever
was
heard.
just gonna say, I will hashtag have a brew.
That's
Steve
true.
Abreu.
But then again, there are 3 vowels in my name. You might as well say them all.
No
right?
shit.
100% of the word.
I
of the
blame
letters.
Bobby Abreu.
Great player.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Well, I mean,
Chicks
Philadelphia
dig the long
Phillies.
ball.
Tragic
Kids take
failure.
a lot of long things.
Yeah. So, how would crew fans know you?
Well, I'm Zip6 on a number of platforms, the International Consortium of Soccer Experts, also known as Big Soccer. You can catch me at Zip6 on Twitter.
Yep.
Steve Abreu on Facebook. I don't know. I'm all over.
Is
I've
the
been
6
all
spelled
over.
out?
Yes, it is spelled out.
Thank
You got
Christ.
I mean, I have no time for numerals. You got to hit
No.
that SIX all
Yeah.
the way down.
Yeah, you've got to hit it, and then you got to quit it. You got to unfollow it, and you got
I
to
love,
delete
I love the look that John Zadar and I just exchanged because apparently we're both still 10 years old.
That's right. So, Steve Abreu, where is you from?
Well, that was wrong. Don't do that again.
Abreu.
No.
Abreu.
No.
A breeze.
A boo.
Nope.
Why have you been so bad lately?
He's missing some letters, John.
Wonderful. Where are you from originally?
I grew up in Centerville, Ohio. Yeah.
Is that a boo or a cheer? I can't hear you.
That's where the pumpkin festival is.
It's actually just nature's way
Is
of
that
saying,
right?
oh, Centerville, that exists.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. Centerville
what-
Oaks, yeah, south of Dayton.
That's where Nick Mangold is from.
That's
Yes,
not
it is.
Centerville.
AJ
Yes,
Hawk,
it
I
is.
I was
believe.
thinking of
And
Circleville.
AJ Hawk.
Kirk
That's
Herbstreit.
true.
Oh yeah,
And
that guy's not a
Nugent,
piece
Mike
of shit at all.
Nugent.
Huge. So you're from Circleville,
Yep.
and it says to yourself, I need to get out of this decrepit wasteland. It's far too close to Ann Arbor, even though it's further from Ann Arbor than Columbus is.
That's true.
So you come to Columbus for what reason?
Well, first I went to Urbana-Champaign. I went undergrad at Illinois. Come to Columbus for law school. So I went to the Michael E. Moritz College of Law at
Course.
Ohio State. Yeah,
Of course.
the Ohio State University.
Yep.
And that was 2001. I started law school.
All right. So you get here and you says to yourself, it is boring being a nerd. I need to up lads. I need to be in North Stands. I need to start a supporters group that references the World War II battle.
Yes.
And
Yes.
you get into the Columbus Crew. How did that happen?
Well, I had been to a couple games at the Shoe. We drove up, my dad took me to a couple when I was in high school, and then I met some friends there. And then when I came to Ohio State, that was one of the big pulls. I got to go to Crew games. They built the stadium in the interim, and I don't know why. I had a drum, right? So I was a drummer. And so I brought my drum to the game, but I didn't really know that many people. But the only place I was going to be able to play it was in Section 137 at the time.
Rest in peace.
For sure.
Yep.
And that's where I met all the, the V Army, your Scott Sedleys, your Zach Bernardos, your
Yep.
John Clems, your Mike
Yep.
Sods.
Man, you just named all my least favorite people on Twitter. God.
Well, we're all 10 years older than you. So in 10 years, someone's really going to hate you
Yeah.
on Twitter.
I'm actually,
Oh yeah, just in 10 years. Right now they love you on Twitter.
I'm sadly older than Clem. It's very depressing.
That can't be true. Is
yeah,
that true?
No, it is. Yeah, yeah. It's very depressing.
He's more East Coasty, though. Maybe it's the East Coastiness.
He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have time for shitlord things people the suburbs do, like drive places. Oh my God,
Or
how
shave.
dare
He
they?
doesn't- yeah.
So you get into Monterey Stadium, previously known as Cruisers FC Palace, and you're in the south. You're in the North Stands. You're part of crew groups, and you're really getting into it. You're saying this is my thing. And you go on to the big soccers and you say, guys, we need to coordinate. We need to create a group. And V Army comes about. Talk to us about the thought behind the V Army moniker.
Well, V Army stands for Victory Army, and it was really Zach Bernardo's brainchild. And Zach has some French heritage, and so he modeled the supporters group after the French Liberation Army after the Nazis took over France. Because why wouldn't you?
As they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I was just a joiner on at that time because, Zach was a little bit older, and those guys were having all the fun basically in the stadium back then. This is 2000, 2001. Because prior to V Army, there was basically just like Contractors SC and people that were basically they did
Matt Bernhardt.
Shadowbox Cabaret or whatever on the weekends, which is not what we were doing
With their pool noodles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met a bunch of guys through that, and it's the same story as everyone. You come once, you really like it, and then every match you meet more and more people.
Yeah, I've said before that even especially today's supporters groups in crew fandom, everything is just an offshoot of something that existed before. There's no such thing as originality. When we're talking about soccer supporters groups, music, art, which, John, you can take my word for it. I know a lot about art. You're all just doing something that you were kind of inspired by someone else to do. Or
just straight up stealing their idea.
A lot of people say stealing, but why would you? That hurts my feelings. Yeah, I came up with this banner behind me on my own.
No, you wait. You wait until the banner's made, then you steal it.
That's right.
Wow! I got the order mixed.
Just cut through all the fat and be like, I'm taking this now.
Yeah,
yeah. I'm going to make a house out of it.
You made this.
Yeah.
I made this.
We're going to make houses out of balls and shirts and stolen banners. Greg, it's in Guatemala.
These houses—they're going to stand for days.
Fan-fucking-tastic.
But it was a different time back then because there was only 25, 30 of us, so it didn't take you long to meet everybody in the section at that time. This is pre-2008 when really the Nordecke came together. And
That's exactly how you say that word, yep.
Oh, you don't say that?
Nordecke? Yeah,
Nordecke?
No, I say that, yeah.
Well, I say it that way. It's Abreu. And so
don't let him get you down about his pronunciations, okay?
Thank you, John.
I'm one of the best readers in the game right now. Dare you, sir. You actually have a cool kind of vantage point now from being there in the early days and being a drummer in Crew Grooves and saying,
I was not in Crew Groove.
And you were the number one Crew Grooves guy. And you're like, Mark McCullers, let's invent soccer culture. But then you moved away.
Yes. I moved away in 2007. So I was there for the 2007 season, moved away prior to the 2008 season.
That's
the
incredible.
Worst timing ever.
It was awful. But
That's
I came
incredible.
back a couple of times because I had a lot of disposable income back then. So I made all of the playoff games and the Cruise Miss. And I went to Cruise Miss every year until my daughter was born 2 years ago.
Is that before you had kids?
Yeah.
Okay, Pam, I hope you're listening to this. Okay, this is what happens when you have kids. They take all your fucking money.
That's true.
They
And
do.
your time.
That's right.
And then sometimes they just turn into be fucking Derby, and that's just even more disappointing.
Everybody loves Derby, though. Nope, turns out they fucking hate him. Like I said, that draw plays automatically when he walks in the room. So you come back now, and you kind of have one of those vantage points of being able to appreciate the not so much growth, but the change that happens in soccer culture in Columbus. Do you have any kind of off the top of your head thoughts about the differences between, aside from just number of people?
Well, the number of people that's incredible. I mean, 2008 rolled around. So prior to that, I should say I helped found Crew Union, one of the major supporters groups with John Clem and Zach Bernardo.
Oh, sorry about that.
Oh, that's
just automatically.
I'm not familiar with the name. Did you mean Homage? You founded Homage?
Roasted.
Homage, that's how everyone
And then I
says that
left.
word.
I found it and left. And then Kevin and John Clem really did all the work on that. So, but we were sitting in Section 101 at the time. We just decided to move because the vantage point behind the goal was terrible. And then a bunch of younger guys that ended up being Hudson Holligans sat behind the goal that season. And then in 2008, it came together to be something greater than the sum of its part at the time. So I moved to Boston 2007. I've been away for 10 years. And so, I really didn't get to enjoy. I mean, I sit in the Nordecke, I come to Cruise Miss, but I never really get to enjoy a full season with everybody there. It is great to see. It's a shame to see all the infighting that happens. Of course, that's natural, and it happens since the stadium's been built.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing, like you said, nothing is new. All the fighting that's going on now, that's always been going on, it's all generational. It all has to do with personalities. It really, if you can come together for 90 minutes and up the lads,
there you go.
That's really what it's about. And I have to say, I have to thank you because the big deal this year was, are we going to have capos or not? Which, as somebody who's been around since 2000, capos was everything we were against for a good reason at the time. But it was time to make a change. And so it's true that, everything new is, has its roots. But this was an experiment, and I haven't been here. This Saturday's game will be my first game with a capo, so I'm interested to see how it works. But I have to say, and you were one of the most vocal opponents of it, but then for you to see that it worked and praise it, I think it's really good to at least acknowledge that somebody tried something. It seems to be working. It's working well on TV. You can definitely tell that the Nordecke is more organized and louder. And so I have to congratulate everybody involved.
Yeah, well, I mean, I won't take any credit for the capo success. There were a lot of people over the years.
Yeah, but it's important for you to say, you know what, this is working and I was wrong. Because it's so easy to say,
really wrong.
It's so much easier to say that sucked and let's not do this again. But to say, okay, you know what? Maybe we're onto something here. And it doesn't matter that we took a position for 10 years that wasn't us. If this is going to support the team better, if this is going to up more lads, then we're on board.
Hey, fucking man, brother, I'm going to try to hit a button there. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's an
Maybe you
applause
just
button.
let the buttons be done by Steve.
No, because that thing sounds like shit. To speak to the capo thing, we have to, because the episode where we talked about it is the most downloaded episode of all time. So just pandering to the downloads now. The capos have worked out really well, and I'm a big fan of everything they're doing. So I want to talk to you for a second about your East Coast Ultra status.
Yes.
And by that I mean your affiliation with your Graham Randalls, your Jim Box, your basically just anybody on Big
Grumpy
Soccer.
old men.
Yeah, and I think Jim confuses it when I call him an East Coast Ultra. He's like, I live in Clintonville. You know this. You've been to my house.
It's a state of mind.
Yeah, it's not a fucking place, man.
Yeah.
So you have people would most associate you with kind of like an outraged type of crew fandom.
Yes.
Would you like to speak to that for a second and defend Big Soccer, for fuck's sake?
Well, Big Soccer was all we had. I mean, I joined Big Soccer in 2000. There was no Twitter. There was no Reddit. That was all we had. So we're just hangers-on. We're just hanging on to it. And it does get a bad rap, and it's gotten a terrible rap recently on Massive Report. There was basically they set up in opposition to it.
Really?
And yes, they did. And
really?
What?
Oh my! There
I've
was
not-
a
I've not
co-host
heard
of
this.
Massive Report. I forget his name. He went off on Big Soccer. I forget his name. He had like a strange accent, but anyway,
Chris Landis.
I think
you're
that's
talking
right.
about Chris Landis?
Yes, and but it's just a bunch of people who have more memories in the bank about what crew soccer could be.
Yeah.
And so I understand that young people don't want old people telling them. I hated it. I mean, we started V Army, and there were people like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." It was like, well, who are you? Go away. This is our thing now. I get it.
Yeah.
I totally get it. But we're all aging. We're all going to be 10 years from now. We're all going to be looking back and see what the people are doing then. So the crotchetiness just comes with age.
Yeah.
But then again, the anger when we. So here's the thing. 2006, the club finally hires someone who's not affiliated with the club, Siggy Schmidt, right? And what happens is we win the MLS Cup in 3 years. Okay, somebody who knows what they're doing. We win the MLS Cup. We have the greatest player in the history of our club. To this day, we get to watch him play. Is inspiring. He takes us to the heights. We win the double. We win the Supporter Shield the next year. Siggy Schmidt goes away. We hire from within, promote. Okay. And then there's a decay of the club. But I think because we've been around, we saw, if you were there for that rise from 2006 to 2008, you know what this club could be. And so every day that it doesn't live up to that promise is a day that, your life is finite, mine is finite. We're only going to be watching the crew for so long. It's a waste of time. And I think that's really what gets my ire up when we have an opportunity to hire Guillermo Barros Schelotto, who's now coaching the largest soccer club, in the Americas.
Yep.
But we pass on him because he's unseasoned. Those missed opportunities are really what gets to me, and I can't help. I love the club so much that's really where it's coming from. It's anger, but it's coming from a place of being passionate about the crew.
And here's what I think that people don't understand about the East Coast Elite. The East Coast Ultras, you guys know when you get into these battles about these great things happen between 7 and 8. On some level, you understand the false equivalency fallacy of the argument, saying like, well, it happened in 7, so it will happen in as soon as we fucking decide to hire Guillermo. Like, Scott Sedley is a person that is like completely and totally misunderstood by the people that he does attack. He's not an Anthony Precourt guy. He tweets at him all the time. But if you kind of you do have to do some digging, which is why I love big soccer, and I always have. It's a repository for knowledge about things that have happened, and what like. Okay, fucking hang the DJ's upset at Anthony Precourt on Twitter. If you want to know why that happens, just go to Big Soccer and look at his post history, and you'll understand that he's kind of like a caricature of himself.
Yeah, but we need somebody with that point of view in the club fandom. We need that. We need a catalyst. We need to have people come back and defend Precourt. And there's a lot to defend him about. I mean, I think he's been great, honestly.
I do
He's
too.
Far better than the Huns. But I understand what he's saying. The thing that I have the most problem with about the Precourt era is basically this white walling of the history of the club. Crew
What do you mean
SC.
by that?
Well, the Crew SC thing is just tantamount to what I mean by that.
Just two little letters on the end of crew makes you
know
angry.
And you know why? I mean, I think you could explain to me why. It's just, okay, it's our club now, and now it's called this, and we insist that you call it this.
Yeah.
When for 20 years it's been the Crew. And so, and the insistence is really what the problem is. Because, yes, it is your club, you own it, and I'm in favor of 80% of the things that he's done, fixing the stadium up and basically breathing life into the club. I applaud, I stand and applaud. But it is your club, but it's our club too, and it's always been our club. And there needs to be, I mean, if we want to say the Crew, and if the announcers want to say the Crew because it's the Crew, then can we stop it with the corporate memos?
Pick and
and
choose
things
your
like that?
battles.
I totally agree with that.
That's not the hill you want to die on.
I'm with
But
John on
why
this.
do you think they insist? I think it's because people don't know that Crew's a soccer club, but you have to know that SC means soccer club.
Yeah, I don't know what why they're so fervent about that. I think it's foolish. I think it was stupid to not include the Crew nickname in the entire branding when they redid it all.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something you can include when you do things like that, are these alternate titles that you can give to things, and I think that was an oversight. But I don't know why they're so passionate about it. I think they really should just get over it. Because I mean, when you think about like Tottenham, like the Spurs, and like these are all nicknames that these teams that everyone here wants to emulate so badly. They've all got these nicknames that they're better known by
What if I said
sometimes
this?
than their official names.
What if I said this? Who gives a fuck what the team wants us to call them?
Well, right. That's what I say.
And who
That's why
gives a
I think
shit?
it's stupid.
No,
But you want me to pay Erica Kress every goddamn
Yeah,
time.
but
I didn't make those rules up, John. That's the fucking rule. Yeah. What's the?
I mean, to some degree, that's true. You're right. Who cares? It's still the same people, right? It's still the same city, still the same stadium, still the same colors. But it's a reminder that if Precourt wanted to be sky blue and brown tomorrow and call ourselves the Aviators, that's what we would be. And that, I think there's a rub to that. And that's not just, Columbus fans, not just East Coast Ultras. It's people around the world, Hull Tigers and things like that, where if you mess with the identity of a club that someone was born into, then you're really messing with part of that person's, upbringing.
Yeah, I think it's just I think it's just a silly fight. I think they look foolish arguing over it.
Well, I don't
and like with the press release saying like you will call us this.
Right.
I think you look like a joke, and I think you look like a kid trying to wear his dad's pants.
I would
with
not
a bullshit
respect
move
him.
like
Yeah.
that. Like I think you do. I think you look
Well,
kind of
Grant
like a
Wall-
joke. Like I
Grant
think you look
Wall
amateur.
On Twitter has been, they're still they're still sending out memos saying you must call us Crew
Good, dude.
SC.
I would respect them a lot less if they spent all this money to rebrand and then they didn't try to enforce it. Like, I was captain of the this is bullshit that we're rebranding squad. I liked the construction workers. I still do. But as soon as this badge came out and as soon as they said Crew SC, I'm like, I don't give a fuck anymore. That thing is sweet.
I agree. The badge is sweet, but then the SC, it's like like Manchester United doesn't insist that you call them Manchester
Yeah, but
United.
we're not Manchester
FC.
United. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what they do?
I think
it's
that's
so
I think that's the
persnickety.
thing. Like, it's such an inconsequential thing to be like nitpicky over. Like, fine, and all your promotional and official material and broadcasts, like, do that, fine. But like to tell, media members from different outlets that they must say this.
They don't say
it's
you
just-
must. They
Yes,
just
they
say
do.
this is the
Yes, they
preferred.
do.
Okay, John. Right. They go you must or what? If you say you must,
Well, right.
there
That's
has to be an
that's
another memo.
an extra part of why it's so ridiculous. There is no or what. There are no consequences.
A lot of people are saying you're losing this argument.
I mean, it's me and Steve versus you. I think we're winning.
1 point to myself. Blood point. Number one, handsy boy.
Well, this is why. But I mean, your question is, why do you get so upset about things? Why do the East Coast elite? What is it? it's because we've been here for so long. We know what it can be. It's all comes from a point of being passionate about this club.
Yeah,
I mean, I support this club from 800 miles away. I don't see that many games in person anymore.
Yeah.
It's appointment viewing. I mean, I got to watch, ONN. I got to watch Sika and Burgess
in massive.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
Steve, do they provide a free bus from Boston to
They do
Columbus?
not. They do not.
But they do to Cincinnati, I've heard, or they're going to.
Moving on to the next topic, and that is Johnny Ball, which is a sport that you play. You texted me today and you said, Morgan, can we talk about Johnny Ball on the podcast? And I said, absolutely. This is a crew podcast. We talk about crew players only. So describe to us, if you would, what Johnny Ball is.
Yeah, so chook ball, and I want to talk
I'm sorry,
about
wait,
it
what's that now?
because
You say
United
chook?
it
You're
is
mispronouncing
chook ball.
Johnny, just
Oh,
like
no,
you
I'm sorry.
mispronounced
It's chook
Nordin.
ball? No.
CHOOK? Chook?
Chook ball.
TCHOUKBALL. I won't take up too much of your time, but I want to let you know that the United States Chook Ball Association is going to donate a set of equipment to Caster Connection. So if you want to try the sport out, it'll be heading your way.
Is that right?
Yeah, we'll be doing that for you. And also anyone in Columbus that wants to try the sport, you'll have the equipment. So if you want to just
Tailgates.
try it out.
Make a tailgate.
That would be a lot of fun.
Real talk, dude.
I've literally been wanting to play this game since I first saw you start talking about it, and
Yeah.
I've been like annoyed that you're so far away and that I can't learn it.
Okay, so the equipment's
it
coming
looks
your way.
awesome.
It is awesome. So it is a sport that it's total freedom of movement offensively.
Yeah.
There's nobody in your face, which means that it doesn't matter how tall you are, doesn't matter
That's
how
right.
fast. You can do what you want with the ball. The defense is all strategic in terms of positioning. So it means that you can play co-ed.
Yeah.
And it means that at
I
the
think
highest levels of the sport,
I was saying
you play
this
co-ed.
to you earlier, or maybe like in text message or Twitter or something, where I was like, dude, the best part about this game is like I get really pissed when somebody face guards me in basketball, like, end line to end line. I'm like, dude, come on, I'm 37. Like, this is like an amateur league. Can you get out of my fucking face for 5 seconds?
Yes.
And that's like the rule in chook ball, is that you can't face guard. So, like, you almost can't guard anybody at all.
Not only can you not face guard, but you're not allowed to knock down or block the passes of the offensive team, which means that the worst player of chook ball can be on the same field with the best player. I mean, they're not going to be intimidated by that person being in their face.
Would you agree with me if I say that it's a combination of kind of soccer, basketball, and lacrosse?
I explain it as kind of volleyball
Oh,
without
that speaks
a net.
to you loud and clear, doesn't it?
Bunch of
Morgan?
white people shit, yeah.
Yeah.
There are trampolines involved. I hope people understand that there are 2 trampolines. You don't jump on them. You throw the ball against them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Okay, yeah.
it's-
We're all like, just like a real trampoline.
It is the most European sport you can think of. I mean, all of your conceptions about how sports are played in the U.S. are just flipped upside down in this sport.
Yeah.
So there are score zones on the trampolines at both ends of a court. Think about a basketball court, but instead of using the hoop, on the ground, there's a 1 meter square trampoline and a kind of a hockey crease around it. The goal of the sport is to throw the ball against the trampoline. It bounces back into the field. If it hits the ground, if the other team doesn't catch it, you get a point.
Yeah.
But the fun thing is that either team is allowed to score at either end of the field. And because all of the passes can't be defended, you can move the ball back and forth quickly. Or if you catch the ball off the trampoline, you can immediately shoot it. So it's a high-scoring, fast-paced game. There are no timeouts. The clock moves all the time.
How do you spell chook ball for those who want to?
It's TCHOUKBALL, and we have. I know it's a terrible
last
name.
part was the part I was most confused about.
It's the worst name. I tell people, I evangelize about this sport, and I tell them the name, and they immediately forget it. It's the worst. I want to call it like Ricochet. I think we should have a U.S. name like soccer.
Oh, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
sweet.
much better.
Yeah.
Juke ball. It's meant to emulate the sound of the ball coming off the frame.
Oh, it's the worst shit I've ever
Where was
heard.
Where was this like invented?
Yeah, it was invented in Switzerland in 1970 by a sports biologist.
Because of course it was.
Yeah, who invented the sport in order to cut down on the injuries that plague other sports like soccer and basketball. So you're not in contact with other people. Sometimes, the ball comes off the net, so you got to try to catch it. There can be finger stuff, but you're not going to have the concussions or the MCL injuries or things like that plague other sports.
Well, that's why the saying is for pussies by pussies. So go to
USA-chukball.com.
/hot deals and order your
.geocities.
set of trampolines and shot put. Is that what you guys use?
Yeah, or just call Morgan Hughes, who in about a week is
I
going to
wouldn't
have
do
the
that.
equipment and will be hosting.
Are you being serious?
Yeah,
Is that-
I am going to send you the equipment.
Oh my God, yes!
Dude, yes.
Yeah,
So excited.
it'll be
I mean,
fun. So I just tell you a little bit about it, just quickly, very quickly. So
Okay.
I read an article about this 5 years ago. I bought the equipment on a whim. I started a team. At the same time, a gym teacher in New Jersey started his team, and we had the first ever USA National Championship with 2 teams.
Oh, shit.
In 2013, okay?
Dope.
So now we have 6 teams all across the country. We're trying to get more. But last year, we put together the United States national team, which
Dope.
is sort of like mostly people from the U.S. and Boston. We went down to Mexico City. We played against 6 other teams. And I thought we were going to lose every game by 100 points. We came in third. We finished 4-2. We ended up on the medal stand.
Nice.
Brazil ended up winning because they're just badass.
Yeah, of course.
But it was the experience of a lifetime. So, you have a chance here to represent the United States in a sport.
Yeah. Get on the ground floor and you could go to the Olympics for chookball.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
literally
and
true.
If you have like a national championship that's currently at 2 teams, if you expand that to 4, you'll get a spot in CONCACAF Champions League.
I think that's right. Yeah.
That's exactly
it's
how it
like
works.
Canada.
Yeah.
Yep.
People are going to probably laugh about that. Yep, there it is.
There you go.
So moving on to your favorite off-the-field memory, and by this I do not mean Federico Higuain scoring a Pippa chip for the first time 4 years ago today, the very same day I met Dirty Slut Pam. I mean things that happen off of the pitch with the footy lads and the boots. Back to you, Steve.
And with Dirty Slut Pam.
Not a tough question. 2008 MLS Cup, Los Angeles, post-party at the whatever hotel that was at. That trip was amazing. I went with Mike Sod and John Clem. And
Role
Graham.
Model 83.
What's that?
Role Model 83. Follow him on Twitter.
At Role Model 83.
That's right. Fan of the league.
Absolutely. Hashtag fan of the league. We went to L.A., had a great time, saw our favorite sports team in the world win the championship, then went to the hotel where the team was staying and partied with the cup, got pictures with, your Robbie Rogers, your Guillermos, and it was incredible.
That kind of shit's never going to happen again.
No, I know. Talk about getting in on the ground floor.
Yeah.
I mean, a major championship, those memories can never be erased. That's the thing. If you get in, something like that, those pictures will never be taken away. In 30 years, this is going to be, no fans are going to be able to party with the cup.
Yeah, and those of us that were, alive to remember the early years of MLS, it hasn't even been 10 years since November, 2008, and the thought that, the players took the trophy to a post-game celebration that the fans also could attend at a hotel, and it almost defies logic in this era of MLS, which I guess is a good thing. That means that our league is growing, that our sport is.
Were you there for that?
Sustaining.
Did you go to that?
No, I stayed here and I watched it in a fucking living room by myself.
What?
Yeah.
I stayed here. I watched it at Studio 35.
Yeah, I was going to go to Ruby's.
I hated that I
and I
didn't
got
go.
lazy. Fan-fucking-tastic. Okay, so this is Greg's question. Greg Benson is the one that came up with this question. It's his favorite one. He really is in tune for everyone's answer. He has a spreadsheet at home. He keeps it.
Every single week.
What does the crew mean to you?
Well, people don't like to choose between their children, be it Arizona or Ice-T, which one's their favorite. But
right.
of all the sports teams...
No, I choose that quite easily.
Which
It's just
Ice-T?
Yeah, no, they don't know.
Oh, you're not going to say?
You're not going to tell us?
Oh, they don't.
No,
they
I
listen
mean,
to this?
they listen regularly.
Oh, I see.
That's good.
So,
But blink if it's Arizona.
He blinked.
Oh, it's Ice-T. All right. Crocodile Benson.
This is my favorite sport. I mean, this is my favorite team. And people are like, what's your favorite team? Because I live in Boston now. That's where I live, East Coast. The past 10 years, people are like, you're into the Patriots. And I say, God, no.
Yeah.
And they, well, who's your favorite team? I say the Columbus Crew. And, a lot of people have no idea what that is. But it's true. I mean, I grew up with the team. I love the team. This is for me, it stands for what Columbus and Central Ohio can be. I mean, soccer is the world sport. It is literally possible that Columbus Crew SC could win the Club World Cup. I mean, It would take some great players, but in no other sport in the United States, when you talk about a world championship, can it truly be possible? There's a story, I think it's like Steve Sirk or Mike Flick or somebody went to visit somewhere in Turkey or something, and the cabbie asked, where are you from? And he said Columbus, and the cabbie was like, oh, Columbus Crew. I mean, no one's saying that about the Clippers or the Jackets. So I think it really, what it represents to me is basically what this city can be on the world stage.
That's beautiful. I like that. That's the best answer we've ever fucking had.
Yeah.
I'm not even reaching for a button right now. That's I like that.
That's all right. You pressed the wrong one.
China, you're suspended. You and Greg, Massive Report, fuck boys.
Oh, no.
Lovely. That's a good answer, man.
Let's go make Massive Report great again.
Oh, God God, was it ever fantastic? So
Definitely not when you were on it.
last question, and then we'll go kill Greg in the back room. How can AGS attack be stopped?
Well, Morgan, I've been giving this a lot of thought. And it
course.
seems to me that AGS Attack's platforms are the massive Reddit thread and this podcast.
Okay.
So if you delete
I
your
don't like where
account,
this is going.
AGS Attack will be stopped.
No, he's in the
Genius.
Nordex now.
Genius.
He has a custom jersey that says -6.
That's funny.
Yeah, the negative is just black electoral. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Fan-fucking-tastic. Like, I think that was the second like serious answer to the question of what does a crew mean to you in 44 episodes. Like you and Ryan Roberts are the only ones who have ever answered that honestly. And when John and I were kind of starting this, and we're like, and like we had that question, we're like, dude, people are going to get really poetic and like wax on about it, and it's just going to be awful. And then no one took it fucking
Nobody
seriously.
did it.
Darby's flicking me off. Why? Did you take it?
I took it super serious.
Yeah, but you're on the show all the time. No one remembers things you say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we've deleted the entire episode that was all about you.
Not just the third segment, but the whole thing.
Even your parents
Oh,
don't want to
God.
know. That was roasted.
Are you recording right now?
I don't know how I come back. Yes. Wonderful. Thanks again to Zip6 from Big Soccer for stopping by. Hard Hat Mike is coming up next, and we got C-Bus 20 right behind that. God damn, that guy's been on a tirade lately. Jesus tits. On segment 3, we have your hot takes. Battle for the grand prize. Can anybody challenge Lord of the Shits? Tune in to find out. My friends, you've made a giant mistake by listening to ACES Radio.
Hot, sicker than your average. Down like goose and I'm fly like Maverick. With a savage attack in a mouth like a mash. Spitting fuego, homie. It ain't tricking if it's magic illusions. Indubitably juvenile. My crew can do it and we do it well. Rock around the clock all across the nation. Got a lot of sky miles and a reputation of making earthquakes every time we land. Cause stopping ain't an option or a part of the plan. Fools get to feeling while I'm running on jet fuel. Now pay close attention cause I'm ready to let you know what I'm all about, child. I got that style that you come to love. And I'ma stay fly till the day I die. Spitting fresh to death from above. Get it? David F. Man, you don't stop. David David, you don't stop. We came to rock it till the city takes off. Mr. Captain, yeah. I'm an ace pilot, yeah. I wanna spin my wings and fly. To all the people in coach, yeah. To my first class folks, yeah. We'll show you how to scrape the sky.
Yeah, baby. Ignorant sluts, shit lords, and puppets on Greg's hands alike. You should probably all delete your accounts. Welcome back, bitches. It's ACES Radio. It's segment 3. We are live on Periscope. Greetings and salutations to all 6 of you watching via the World Wide Web. Welcome to the Buffalo Bills podcast extraordinaire, number 17 within the outer belt of 270. It's great to have you back. There's Zip6. Oh, Jesus, you're getting a lot of hearts right now. Wow. I remind you, as always, the more hearts you give, the closer you get to seeing John's and ours perfectly formed genitals. One of these days, you're going to have to pull your penis out.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
If I win...
If you win what?
The prediction standings.
Are you sure they're not his perfectly formed genitals and not his perfectly formed PFG genitals?
Greg, I don't take instructions.
If I win the prediction standings, then everyone else also wins because I will reveal them.
Is that right? Like, I'm speaking to you as like a man right now.
Tune into the last episode of this season for a shocking reveal.
I love that. You got to leave that.
Look how it fades out.
Steve, do you just like carry that around?
He uses it at work.
Like at work?
I made partner at my law firm, and I realized, I can have a sound machine so that when
Hey, good for you,
come in,
pal.
I can be like,
Woo! We got crew fans doing good shit on the East Coast, friends. One thing I meant to talk to you about on segment 2 was that you were there. You were one of 3 people in Montreal for the 2015 playoff game.
how great was that?
It was actually pretty fun. I love Montreal.
That's
It's my
a great
favorite
city.
city in
It's
the
the
world.
best.
Yeah, but
In the world, over Columbus?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Columbus
Have you
is
No, I
You
haven't.
should go.
Columbus is battling for the number 2 spot between itself and Toronto. I love Toronto. I love Montreal. I love Canada. Steve, you were there when John Clem got arrested.
Yeah, I was in New York when John Clem got pepper sprayed. Is that what you're referring to?
No, I mean when he got arrested for upping the lads too hard when we scored that first goal, and he just like started talking shit to their supporter
children?
section.
Well, that's the John Clem nightly special.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the words he was saying, I think, in French Canadian were very offensive.
Yeah.
But
Oh, he was screaming French Canadian?
no, he was screaming in his like bearded jargon, but
Right.
it came out in something that they didn't want to hear.
That's right. That's
we
right.
had a guy though that came, like a Montreal fan, that stood with us the whole game.
Yes.
I don't know why.
I have no idea why.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a guy named Vicus or something,
Yeah.
and he mailed me a scarf later on.
Did he really?
Yeah, and I mailed him one of mine. And
Jesus.
that was a great game, though, because even though we lost that game, we knew that away goal. I
Yeah.
think we knew that was going to be enough.
That's exactly what the three of us said in the supporter section that they partitioned off for us. That was 5,000 people.
It was Nordicky sized, and there were just three.
There were three of you.
It was awesome.
Well, they had-
And then when we score, though, that makes it easier for us to be, horse for the camera and get on the TV, and everyone's
Correct.
looking over, and we're just having a great time.
I sprinted my ass off towards their supporter section. Like, I'm not on TV.
Like they scored and you just bolted?
I started running towards them. Yes.
And then we got on the subway after the game, and they're all singing their songs, and we're like, yeah, this is great. On the back of our heads, we're like, we just won the series. We got this
Yes.
away goal.
Right.
That's right.
It was awesome.
I have video of you literally capoing
Yeah.
a supporter section on a subway train
Yeah.
in French.
Yeah. I mean, if you can't beat them, join them. I feel like, if you join in with them, the tension gets eased. Plus, they're not going to. I mean, Montreal Columbus is not the greatest rivalry in the MLS.
And 90% of the people in that train, this is their first soccer game. Like,
Yeah.
they had no idea what was going on. Like, we're in the playoffs. Fucking great. I will be there. That was it.
John Clem did actually get pepper sprayed in Newark, New Jersey. Or
Yes, he
wherever
did.
And,
Yeah,
and
we were
that
there for that.
actually happened. That was crazy.
That
He
was-
said he was breaking up a fight, air quotes.
Yeah.
But and took some pepper spray to the face.
They,
but,
they didn't need to pepper spray him, and they did. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did, because watching John Clem walk into the section with like his eyes
I was
are
standing
swollen
right there
shut.
as they sprayed him, and I was like, that's not necessary, but it's happening.
It was great, dude.
How did you feel after that game, though? So we win that game, we're going to host MLS Cup. That's
Yeah.
like the best feeling there can be. I honestly feel, though, that like we deserved to lose that game. That last 10 minutes of that game were the worst 10 minutes
Yeah.
of that season for me, because I thought for sure they were going to screw that up. And New York hit the post.
Yeah.
I mean, we were inches away from blowing that.
And Kai was under no... he didn't even feel like trying to stop that ball. It just happened to
Yeah,
hit
it
off
just
the
didn't
post.
go in,
Yeah.
thank God, yeah.
That was insane. That was one of the best moments of all time.
But then, then the team comes out and the confetti goes off and it's black and gold and everyone's
Yeah.
psyched. But I feel like, and the Montreal leg, that Montreal leg was amazing. The return leg,
Yep.
the return match was incredible.
It was my
That-
favorite moment in
All-time
Montford
favorite
Stadium.
game,
Yeah.
I think, at Crew Stadium.
I just want to, I mean, for me, true, but also the 2008 ECF, when, like,
Yeah.
I was so nervous in the 2008 ECF. I left the Nordecky and sat by myself in a row, 3 rows from the top of the west upper side. I was too nervous. Because Brian McBride had just scored, and I
Yeah.
was just like,
Oh,
are
yeah.
you kidding me?
Has
This
to
is
be
the
him.
worst possible thing. Because, the Brian McBride hate was very real in
And we'd
2008.
been there before. Maybe it wasn't at home. Maybe it was
Yes.
against DC on the
Yes.
road. But we'd been there before and failed miserably.
Yes, and it was playing out that way.
Yep.
I would love to have known what was going through his head specifically.
McBride?
Yeah, I would have loved to
He's
have
an
known.
athlete, so what's going through
I mean,
his head is,
yeah, he's going to want to win, but you got to think that there was some semblance of like, fuck.
I don't know. I think he celebrated the goal, didn't he? I
Yeah,
mean, he wasn't like.
Yeah, I don't think that he. What I remember from that game, oddly, was going to the concession stand right up top of the Nordeck at halftime and looking at ESPN2 on the televisions that are literally still there. Like, we haven't replaced them ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, dude, we're on fucking ESPN.
Yeah.
Like, this is all happening for us.
Yeah.
But then, so we're losing. We're down 1-0. It's the worst day of my life. Then Marshall dunks on McBride to tie that game up.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a feeling that was. And then Gavin in the go-ahead. And there was just something about Guillermo. There was just something about it. I walked back down to the Nordecky at halftime because, like, okay, whatever. I gotta be here for this.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how nervous I am. And when you had the whole team reacted to Guillermo in a way that I've never seen another team react to another teammate. Just like, if this guy's on our team, we got this.
Yeah, we can do anything.
Right. Reverence.
Frankie
It's like-
said it when he's just talking to us, like off the cuff, like here at Zauber Brewing Company, brought to you by ZZ Boots, Wildman's Leather and Lace. He's like, dude, that fucking team, like, we kind of wanted to start losing because, like, we just hated everyone, and it's like, how dare you try to beat us? And you hear him say it, and you're like, that pretty much describes that team perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
But if you got someone pulling the strings like he did, I mean, think about it. Robbie Rogers' best year as a pro. 2008.
Yeah.
Eddie Gavin, best years of pro.
Yeah.
2008. I mean,
The
that
stars
guy.
literally aligned.
Yeah, because that
And
guy
he
was
put
pulling-
them there.
He was the Marietta.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
it was incredible.
He
That-
made Robbie Rogers into a best 11. A best 11.
Yeah, he was best 11, wasn't he?
Yes.
that season?
and
I
deservedly
forgot,
so. I think. I mean,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you have, 8 goals that
Well,
year?
you remember we would make fun of him so hard, and then 2008 rolled around. We're like, huh? Guess we were wrong.
And now he's a massive champion. He'll always be a champion for this club. I mean, I think that, and the best part about 2008 is that no one's ever going to take that away from us. I mean, we were here for that. We saw it. We'll always have that memory.
Yep.
It's a shame and having that memory, it's a shame then to experience what we did in 2015, to know that we were this close, and for it to end after 17 seconds. I mean, that's why.
Wait, what happened in 2015?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Now,
just-
there was another thread on Twitter the other day, and I know at some point we have to get in the hot takes, but fuck you. This is Bill's podcast. We do what we want. There was another.
But I love the hot takes. When are we getting to them?
I know, John. That's why you're here. There was another thread on Twitter the other day that was talking about how the Portland Timbers Army won the fucking stands and MLS Cup, and it's just like, A, I don't think we're ever going to stop like being reminded of that, and B, I just need to say again, like when your team is winning the literal championship in front of you, you are going to be louder than the fans of the team that are having their hearts ripped out.
Yeah.
Kowarski had put the ball into his own net 18 seconds into the game. The Nordica would have been winning the stands.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we won that game 2-1,
The Nordica would have literally exploded.
Yeah.
if anybody had said anything about Timbers Army in a 2-1 Cruisers FC victory, it would be, I'm shocked that they didn't show up. You know?
Right.
You'd think that there was 3,000 of them there that you would have heard them, but you only heard Crew fans the entire time.
Now, I will say they did travel in impressive numbers, and they are a great.
Yeah, all the way from
great-
Indiana. Good on them.
But really, though, how many of them were there?
I mean, if they filled the south end plus some of the east
So
upper side.
two,
South
like
End's gotta
2,500.
It's
No.
tough to get to Columbus, though. I'll tell you, from
900.
Portland.
Yeah,
I mean,
well, we played in L.A. and we filled a whole section in
Sure.
L.A.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
sure.
And we played the next game at Portland after that loss and brought 150
Yeah.
for a meaningless regular season game on a Sunday afternoon.
you get to see a bike goal, though. That's pretty sweet.
It was
Yeah.
totally sweet.
Yeah.
Professional celebrity fan Cody Sherritt was there. John, what if I told you that there was a cure for the scourge that is reminiscing?
Is it finally stopping reminiscing?
No, it's not that.
As much as I
That's
enjoy it,
one.
I'm enjoying it.
As much as you want it to be stopping reminiscing, it's actually
Nostalgia, the great human weakness.
hot takes.
Nothing is impossible. Make your dreams come true.
And now, an ACES radio exclusive. The battle for the grand prize. Hot takes from the massive.
And you're not gonna stop there.
We got the grand prize.
Hot takes from Twitter.
He's heating up.
Hot takes
He's on fire.
from you.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't, Walter.
Sure can.
No, you
it's
absolutely-
about fucking time.
You absolutely cannot. You're a raccoon. You can't do anything. I watch you die. Caster Connection. You jumped into a thing, a big trash can. What are those called? Dumpsters.
Dumpster.
Yeah. Was that you,
Actually, I
Greg?
think it was called Aces Radio.
Which one? You're thinking of Red Guards in Helltown. How
I
dare
do what
you.
I want.
Shit on those bastards below. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the battle for the grand prize. We've taken a week off, but the fiery hot takes remain as fiery hot as they ever been, John. Back to you.
How are they ordered today, Morgan?
You don't like how I do this?
It only took you how long to figure that out?
I don't like it when you do things. Before we get into the hot takes, John, I want to go ahead and read the standings, if you don't mind.
I will.
That's why
I do
people
not.
This is my favorite.
I'll be back
people
next Thursday.
Tune in to ACES Radio to hear their names called out. In first place with 13 points, Lord of the Shits. Tied for second, 11 points each, Phil Golfart and the Big Mover from last week, John. Hired
Is that a
ballerina.
new guy? Oh.
Not spelled how
I
you
thought
think it
the
is.
big mover was a new person.
No, that's not. That would be Big underscore Mover. How dare
That's
you?
Lord of the Shits, actually, his other name. The
Fourth
big mover.
place, fourth place by himself, Mabwadi 2 Bootylicious with 7 points, followed by Pippinips, Hug Me, Shaven Organ underscore Ken. Yeah, that's it with 4 points. I almost went too far.
Sorry, what?
3, 2, 1, clap. Buttle Surfer and Krushmak following in 8th place with 3 points each, followed by Yvonne Seagull. The Crew Pat, a.k.a. Patrick Moore, Mike Hudson Sucks, AGS Attack, Pamela underscore Lynn, Pamela underscore Hughes. No, that's not it. And setting the table.
Sure, it's not Hughes.
With 2 points, all tied in 10th place, followed by the Gagglefuck of celebrity fans, including Bob O'Shaughnessy, Dave Edinger, Darling Thief, Dirty_Slut_Pam, John Burkle, From User, _91, Iscariot, and DH Goat, all with 1 point. Bringing up the rear, John, and getting the bulk, GCG Bag Tyler.
What?
Alone in 25th place with 1 point. You guys keep giving fucking points to AGS Attack and Pamela
No,
Hughes.
I didn't give him any.
Bergherger did. Absolutely. Welcome to Jeff Town from Zabra Brewing Company.
Woo!
What's up, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. That guy's great.
You'll get it.
Oh, there he is. Fan-fucking-tastic. Moving on. Yeah,
Was that what?
was that done?
Steve just killed Jeff.
Man.
How can Jeff be stopped? Apparently, that's how.
He's back from that.
I was there when Abreu on tour shot and killed the owner of his Albert Brewing
Tom's
Company.
favorite off-field memory.
Oh, fuck yeah. Moving on to the subreddit known as the Massive John, and I remind you as always, these hot takes are organized automatically by their level of fiery fucking hotness. Coming to us at the top spot this week is Lord of the Shits with 9 points. Quote, I received some Okay. All right. This is going to be the whole fucking night, right? Talking about my goddamn luggage?
Pretty
All
much.
You made it. You did.
Anything
you brought
that
this
you put on
yourself.
social
I
media.
can't talk about my life without people mocking me.
You literally
relentlessly.
said tune in to find out what happens.
I never said that. No. Quote, I received some random luggage at my house that I believe is yours. It is yellow with an excessive number of casters on it. There is a luggage tag with the name Oregon. Please confirm the following contents as yours. 27 gray t-shirts. 18 track jackets.
Oh, that's low.
Several Crew SC TIFOs. Ooh. A pack of unopened letters from Derek Hughes. A small engagement ring. A blank unused notebook entitled Show Prep. Huey Lewis and the News cassette tape. Yeah, well, that sounds like me. Brock Lesnar dress-up toy figure. A bedside picture of Larry Bird. And finally, a Hooked on Phonics book. End quote. Greg Benson, your thoughts?
They definitely found your luggage. I think you need to claim it as soon
Great
as
t-shirts,
possible.
dude. I wear different things. Come
You
on.
have one on now.
That's just... I mean, like, that's just...
Yes, I'm
literally-
sorry.
this
I'm
is what it
sorry.
is.
I'm sorry. Pardon me. Some of them are silver. Some of them are flint. Some are anthracite. Onyx, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that right?
It's pants and or shorts with a recently replaced crotch, a gray t-shirt, and then a Crew track jacket.
I did have to iron on a new crotch patch before I went to England. I ripped the shit out of my crotches, John. What can I tell you?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Moving the fuck on.
That's all right. Chris Doran does the same thing.
To setting the table with 6
Pam's
points.
crotch she rips.
Yeah, right. Rips the shit out.
Roasted.
Yeah.
Pam's a slut. Moving on. Quote, setting the table has this to say, John, quote, it was quite the coincidence when I saw Morgan and Pam at the same airport I was at while the two were on their way to England. It was nearly stopped before it began, however, when I witnessed the two of them causing a security incident at the TSA checkpoint. While in line, Pam removed a Totino's Party Pizza from a carry-on bag and tried to burn it as she mistakenly thought the X-ray scanner was a hot pizza oven. Afterwards, she took off her shoes as required, but unsurprisingly left them on the floor instead of actually placing them on the conveyor belt, requiring Morgan to once again pick up her fucking shoes. To make things worse, Morgan then raised his hand and voluntarily requested a groin pat-down, telling the TSA agent on duty that it was a rare treat. The agent then pulled on his latex gloves and proceeded to up his lad. The excitement from the genital search proved to be too much for Morgan as he yelled out uncontrollably, I am Andres Mendoza, I am Peruvian, which caused him to be escorted out of line for further questioning as Mendoza was already on TSA's watch list. Hashtag European vacation, hashtag rough nads. End quote. Steve Abreu on tour, your thoughts?
Quality hot take that was.
Oh, that's fantastic.
A number one. Who was that?
Setting the table.
Setting the table.
Very good.
my God.
Good job, Darren.
Darren got his first points last week, I think, and he is moving up the...
I think he might be in line for some more.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Moving on to Pippa Nips with 5 points, quote, now that Morgan has had the opportunity to destroy the supporter culture at both Arsenal and Manchester United, he's back in Columbus to finish his life work of destroying Crew SC supporter culture, although apparently he will be doing it without his luggage. I hope his trip to Europe allowed you to learn from the best English capos on those time-honored traditions of always sitting during a game and fighting opposing fans in the streets. I look forward to you leading our totally new and original fight and win chants from the capo stand on Saturday. And quote, Greg Benson, your thoughts?
Yeah, that's. I thought that was. I thought your time was up. Like it was, you were next in line for a Sam Farmy picture from the capo stand.
Let me smash.
Moving on.
All right, random drop is random.
To user ACES Reflections with 4 points. I think this is the one where I have to play the thing.
No, yeah.
I once heard John's name incorrectly as the amputee amateur artist. And I was inspired by his ability to overcome life challenges with art. Then I learned he's just a guy with a poor attendance record. Why? John Zadar, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that's all true.
I mean,
I do have all my arms and legs, though.
That's true. I mean, like, hey, you got that going for you.
Yeah, right.
Which
Would
is
you
nice.
rather have me missing all my legs or, miss a couple shows?
Let me smash.
Moving on. To user Pal Discarude with 6 points. Quote,
Oh, he's back.
He's back. Good Lord, the hot takes are as bad as my son this week. End quote. Steve Abreu on tour, your thoughts?
Brief, beautiful, well stated.
Love it.
Is that kid on a team right now? I don't think so.
We dodged that bullet.
Mix one for us.
I'm sorry,
For
but
real.
we
For
dodged
real.
that bullet.
Remember how mad people were?
Yes.
We got Kai. We got Kai instead, so, I mean, the bullet still arrived. It's just a year later.
Next disc crew doesn't lead us to fucking
Where would you like to
Cup.
be shot? In the head or the chest?
That's true. That's a good
Kai
point.
Kamara, runner-up for the Golden Boot. I mean, what in the world has Mixed Disc Crew done in MLS?
Well, a lot of people are saying Harrison
ever,
Awful
anywhere,
replaced Kai Kamara very easily with 26 goals. Moving on to user Air Canada customer service with 4 points. Quote, LOL, eh?
A.
End quote. Greg Benson, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's A.
No, it's EH.
Eh?
It's It's the theme of your life. Moving on. Roasted. Your team sucks. You're going to lose in the finals to Western Sydney Wanderers.
They're not actually
Who
playing.
are you guys playing?
We're playing Melbourne Victory.
Melbourne Victory. I mean, they're literally
In
named
what?
after winning.
What's happening?
It's the A-League Grand Final this weekend.
This weekend.
Sydney is Sky Blue.
Sydney is
Where are they
Sky
playing?
Blue.
They're playing in Sydney.
Are they?
Yeah.
Was that predetermined, or is it just like...
It was predetermined because Sydney finished premiers from the regular season.
No, I mean,
so.
like, does the Supporters Shield winner host
Yeah,
the cup?
basically the highest finishing team in the playoffs wins the...
Highest finishing
right.
team in the regular season.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
So Australia does play soccer playoffs as well.
They do, yes. Yeah.
How many of their 10 teams make it? All 10?
6. Yeah, and Wellington Phoenix,
Still
nowhere
too
to be
many.
found.
Moving the fuck on from user Darling Thief with 2 points. Quote, good evening, fellow shitlords. Morgan, cue the sponsorship...
Just push the button.
sponsorship drop. Where is it? Spanish
British
Fleet. There it is.
Maybe Steve has it on his thing.
This edition of ACES Radio Hot Takes is brought to you, as always, by Andy Hubbard's Wake the Fuck Up Columbus, It's Match Day Coffee. Are you having trouble getting out of bed on Saturday morning because you're a normal person who just wants to sleep after a long week of stealing TiVos and doing important basketball fundamentals? Okay, it's going to be about me. Great. Can you just not up the lads on the footy pitch with the enthusiasm of a drunk GCG bag Tyler? Then wake the fuck up, Columbus. It's Match Day Coffee is what you need. These coffee beans are cultivated from the heights of the Levesque Tower and roasted by the Hot Takes Master, Lord of the Shits himself. This beautiful black and gold liquid has been engineered for maximum amount of caffeine to support a dead Yellow Nation army into one single cup. Guaranteed to be stronger than a thrust from Chris Dorn. So, the next time you watch Columbus Crew SC play, line up at your favorite Angel Fire website. Like it's a gear sale and grab freshly ground bag of Wake the Fuck Up Columbus, it's Match Day Coffee. You too will be capoing. Your life depended on it. End quote. Oh, that just plays over the whole thing?
What you doing there?
There we go.
Fantastic.
Abreu on tour, your thoughts?
Lengthy?
You talking about Doran or the hot take?
Yep.
Yes.
Just yes.
It's got to be some strong coffee to wake you up better than a Doran thrust.
Moving the fuck on. From user Crew Cat's Corpse.
Oh, no.
With 3 points. Quote, Hello from the grave, shitlords. It's your favorite black and gold cat here. This is my formal apology for not making it to the gear sale, but alas, my signature crew brand catnip was surely gone after the Legacy Club pillaged the sale with such might that even a camped-out Stanek bro would have been brought to tears. I realize SC has literally quit as... Okay, that's... I realize SC
I think it should be
has
quite
quit,
literally.
has quite literally been shitting the litter box when it comes to upping the lads. But believe me, we're going to sit down and have a good old cat chat about beer culture and get this all straightened out. This is a Crew Cat certified guarantee, almost as good as the guarantee Morgan has of coming home to a half-burned down house, with Pam's various articles of clothing scattered throughout the yard after a ferocious session of lovemaking, resulting in a Pam sandwich topped to Josephine's mom and international crew celebrity Chris Doran.
In a weird direction.
It seemed so like normal, and then it just like veered off violently.
Hashtag let me get a McPick crew. And quote,
Hashtag brought it back.
John Zadar, your thoughts.
Who in that sandwich is at the meat?
I don't know. There's no period.
I mean, obviously Doran
I'm guessing
is
it's
the
Chris
meat,
Doran,
but
actually.
like, yeah, it just didn't seem like he'd be in the center. I don't know.
That's awesome.
I like to think of Doran more as like the toothpick that goes through it all to keep it together.
Why won't that button play? There it is. Moving the fuck on from user Handy Locknane.
Morgan's dead.
We just broke Morgan.
Oh my god, I can't believe that username was available.
It's Hansy, actually.
Oh, Hansy Lockname.
Oh,
That's so
Hansy
much
Lockname.
better. Jesus, thank you, Greg. With only 3 points. What? 3 points. Quote, at the last home game, I kept hearing someone trying to start the chant, "We are massive," except he kept saying, "I am massive," and was getting upset because no one else would follow his lead. I couldn't help but turn around to correct his mistake and notice that it was Chris Doran. I then realized no correction was needed and turned back around, swearing I'll never question anyone starting a chant in the Nordak again. End quote. Greg Benson, your thoughts?
I hope this is the first of many hot takes from Hansy Locknane, because
Hansy
hearing you
Locknane.
read that name warms my soul.
Hold on to your butts and tune in to segment 3 next week to see the return of Hansy Locknane.
Yes.
Is that right, John?
Yes.
Yeah, I like calling you.
You called him as yawning.
Moving the fuck on from user Air Canada with 3 points. Here we go. Hashtag luggage yet? End quote. Steve Abreu on tour, your thoughts?
Brief and wonderful.
I'm just going to go to you every time somebody doesn't have anything to say. There's just a one-sentence thing. Moving on from user Ghost of Stern John with 3 points. Quote, maybe Ryan Jack can lend one of his guy first names to Morgan. End quote. Steve Abreu on tour, your thoughts?
I like that one the best. Who was that?
Nah, that was very bad.
Ghost of Stern John.
Ghost of Stern John.
Morgan as a girl's name is the original joke of this podcast, is it not?
I
Take
think
it
that's
all the way back.
I think that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was Samantha in Akron for U.S. Open Cup. We were walking to the game and she just started chanting Morgan as a girl's name. I didn't do anything to deserve that. Unfucking believable.
I don't think I even knew you back then. That's how
Huh.
all-encompassing it, like how ubiquitous that phrase became.
I don't even know myself at that point, Greg. Moving on from user The Herbinator with 5 points. Quote, transfer rumor, we're buying hashtag 2 first names Ryan Jack as trade bait for Falcao. Once we unload Jack for Falcao, we can finally reclaim the player that we never should have gotten rid of. We send Falcao off to NYCFC, who loves stars older than 35 years old, for the best player in MLS. Ben Sweat comes to Columbus towards the end of the season, giving time for all the trades to take place, and immediately takes over both Higuain's and Merrim's spot, playing two positions at once, so Mane can actually play, and brings us from 11th in the East to MLS Cup. There, Sweat will score a hashtag Tony Chani hat trick, and we will win 2-1 against our most hated rivals, the San Jose Earthquakes. He retires at the end of the game, replacing Frankie as brand ambassador. End quote. John Zadar, your thoughts?
So ludicrous. I want it to happen.
I'm just gonna,
I love the idea. I love the idea of Ben Sweat being the brand ambassador for the team. Only if every single public appearance is set to "Gonna Make You Sweat" by CNC Music Factory. Can we make that happen? Can we fund this?
Ben Sweat as a thing that exists, and then now twice in 1 week.
Hashtag rivalry.
I don't want to talk over that one.
No one does. Moving on from user hired ballerina, not spelled how you think it is, with 2 points, John. Quote, Namaste, shitlords. Inspired by GCG Bag's inquisitorial question about who would win in a hot dog eating contest, the ACES radio gang decides to hold one of their own. Here are the results. Chris Doran. Doran comes in last place due to the fact that he is not used to handling meat less than 12 inches long. Joseph...
I'm ashamed of myself for laughing that
I fucking
hard.
love thinking of Doran like at home listening to Aces Radio, like just hearing inside jokes about his giant dick. Josephine's mom. She quickly finishes off the plate of hot dogs in front of her, but that does not satisfy her need for meat, and she starts devouring Chris Doran's supply. This is not Vietnam, and there are rules here, so therefore she is disqualified.
Big Lebowski reference, nice.
Ags Attack. AGS Attack starts out strong, but victory is snatched from him when he starts celebrating early with some coordinated jumping and gets a hot dog lodged in his esophagus. Attempts at the Heimlich maneuver fail, and he is buried next to Kevin Burns. Fuck them both.
Oh, God. That's
Greg
great.
Benson. Greg realizes that hot dogs are made of pork, the other white meat, and boycotts a contest since he hates everything white.
Yep, that's true.
Editor's note. I did not go for the easy kangaroo meat in the hot dog joke. Besides, we all know koala hot dogs smothered in Vegemite are clearly the superior choice when down under.
Yes, they are.
John Zadar. Despite being 15 minutes late to the contest, the amateur artist whips out his secret weapon. No, not his PFGs. There aren't enough hearts on Periscope yet. I'm talking about the new Kansas City barbecue sauce, Peter Vermees man sauce. John literally covers his hot dogs like they were a DC fan with daddy issues and devours... Oh, Christ on a bike. And devours an exorbitant number. Will he win? Morgan Hughes. Starting out at a good pace, the continuing champion looks unbeatable. When the final bell goes off, Morgan raises his arms in victory, only to realize he's left with 2 bloody stumps where his hands used to be. In his confusion, Morgan mistook his sausage fingers for hot dogs. But it was just enough to edge out the celebrity buttlicker, John Zadar. I guess he will no longer be called the #1 handsy boy. Sorry, Pam, and Josephine's mom. You're welcome, Doran. Hashtag, who had yes on Morgan mispronouncing inquisitorial? Hashtag, still under the bar golfart set. Hashtag, what's your favorite tube-shaped meat? End quote.
Oh, my God.
Steve Abreu on tour?
You guys really like that one. I think, personally, I'm getting tired of the, if ACES Radio was a wedding registry, wouldn't Doran be the candlesticks? Like,
That's
Steve used that entire hot take to come up with that.
I think that might be getting blood points tonight. Moving the fuck on from user Uncle Sportman with 2 points. Quote, hello, Gary. I'm not Gary. He's Gary. Okay.
Alex?
Yeah, exactly. Moving on from user Uncle Sportman with 2 points. We'll edit that out. 3, 2, 1. Hello, Gary. Our sincerest apologies for our extended hot take hiatus. Things have been busy here at Sportman Farms. Duck butter sales are at an all-time high, and Little Duck has been helping us rev up our R&D department. Little Duck. Little Duck. Oh, shit. Little Duck has been helping us rev up our R&D department, and with his help, we've been able to expand our Sportman Farms product line with a new delicious product. We're pleased to introduce the Sportman Farms limited edition crumbled smegma cheese. If you don't know what smegma is, Morgan, you look it up on Wikipedia or have John check the fax machine. This artisan cheese has a very pungent bite and finishes with a delicious smoky aftertaste, making it the perfect topping for Pam's burnt pizza. We would also still love to have you out to the farm soon with Derek, Walter the Croon, and Kyle the Possum, and your sweet angel baby Bailey. I know Derek would love to be around a loving family for once, and Bailey will have lots of land to go and make doggy peepees and shih tzus for fun. Before you put him down, what? No. He's an angel princess. Signed all the
he
love.
would be then.
The Sportmans, Uncle Jerry, Aunt Mary, Terry, and Barry. P.S. When is the wedding? Hashtag engaged yet. End quote. End quote.
God.
John Zadar, your thoughts?
That was worth it if just for your face when you read the put the Bailey down part.
It's not funny, though, man.
No, I know it's not.
He's my angel. I gave birth to him out of my butthole. Walter the Raccoon, your thoughts? No?
God.
Every week I'm still like, it's still weird. Greg
raccoon?
holds the puppet with the sunglasses on and just holds it looking at himself. And then when I call on him, he like turns it towards the microphone to talk. It's so fucking weird.
That's so I can talk into it.
No, welcome back, Walter. Everyone hates you. Moving on from user Mike Hudson sucks with 2 points. Quote, can someone please explain to me what exactly Walter the Raccoon can't do? Morgan, your thoughts. Ain't nobody got time for that. Nope. Moving the fuck on. End quote. Steve Abreu on tour, your thoughts.
Oh, anytime you're going to roast Walter, I'm in favor.
Yeah, Walter sucks. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on from user RP Gardner with 2 points.
Thought you're on my side, fucker.
Oh, really? You're going to start talking in the middle of that? RP Gardner with 2 points says, this is Say, John. I am just writing this, so Morgan has to read one more hot take. End quote. John Zadar, your thoughts.
God damn it. Less hot takes, especially ones like that.
Moving on, fourth from the last. I'm Tony.
Fourth from the last.
I'm sorry. Yeah, fourth from the last. I'm Tony with 3 points says, quote, it is well established that Greg's fart knocker has supernatural qualities.
The fuck?
Magic poopies.
Oh, okay. Great. The podcast has become a Kevin James movie before our very eyes.
Welcome to the Man Show.
Oh, shit. Oh, that's great. It is well established that Greg's fart knocker has supernatural qualities.
No, to read that again.
Greg's fart knocker has supernatural qualities. And John's genitals are small yet perfectly formed. So, does Morgan have a good body part? Well, it's clear that it's not his genitals because Pam is currently going to Pound Town with Big Daddy Doran. His feet aren't great because he's more of a basketball guy. He says he is the number one handsy boy, but his hands aren't even good enough to fist raccoons.
Tell me about it.
That was actually pretty good, Greg. His heart doesn't love his heart doesn't love his son. His eyes can't read. His voice ups the lads in such a horrible way he ruins an Ordak. Fucking Christ, dude.
Jesus.
Morgan, the only solution to your problems is to delete your account. End quote.
I'm going to place a call to the police for a wellness check on you later tonight.
Fucking hey, dude. That's pretty
Just
good.
say, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's an online forum, and they really roasted him today, and I'm just really...
I'm concerned my friend is thinking about deleting his account.
No, I get how ridiculous it sounds. He'd kill himself over internet bullies, but yeah, you should probably look at it.
Isn't that the same guy that they've been trying to kill for like 2 years? It was a fucking hot take that destroyed him. From Fishbert with 1 point.
There was a reply to that last one, by the way.
Okay,
from
Hansy
Lockname.
Lockname. 1 point. I think Pam keeps getting Doran because she isn't getting the engagement ring.
Oh.
Checking the fax machine to confirm. Greg Benson, your thoughts?
Oh, I'm just glad I made you read that.
So is Pam.
How about you?
Moving on from user Fishbird with 1 point, quote, this may be a hotake, but finally we have a winning strategy for winning the hashtag War on Alex. Get him to appear as a celebrity fan on ACES Radio and watch his psyche auger
into the ground.
Auger into the ground when he's booted off as a guest on Massive Report. Steve Abreu, your thoughts?
Did you read that one again? I did not get that at all.
I think it was just, Alex Stanek is a Taylor Twellman.
I think we should go back to the war on Alex. The war on AGS attack is over.
Is that right?
He's got 3 points. We lost. Alex, we can still defeat.
Yeah, but
fair point.
Yeah.
Is he
AGS
even
attack
still
was
around?
out Vietnam.
I haven't seen
We
Alex
lost, but
Stanek
we'll
in
never
so
admit
long.
it.
He wasn't at the gear sale. He's not on ACES Radio. Those are like the two things I do.
Can you wage a war on an opponent that doesn't exist?
Maybe
Is
he
that
got
what you're
hot
asking?
take to death.
Maybe we won the war and we just didn't know it.
We're 1 for 1.
Shit.
Or 1 and 1.
Well,
Yeah.
I would say 2 for 2. If we're calling the AGS attack thing off, I mean, we've defeated
No, we lost
him.
that
No, we
one.
lost that
Sorry.
one.
We lost it?
He's in
he
positive
was a guest and he
now.
did a rap, and people are giving him points.
We've actually caused him to be around more.
We made him more popular than he was before. Oh, this reminded me that he sent me a link to him rapping in high school.
Are you serious?
I have a YouTube
Are you talking
video
about
to
Big and
share
Tasty?
with everyone. Yes.
That was his rap.
I forgot he sent me that.
I'm Alex Stanek. I'm intolerable. Everybody go listen to ACES Radio instead. It's going to be awesome.
Fan-fucking-tastic. Moving on, second to last from user is Zappalicious with 1 point, quote, GBS to LAFC yet? Hashtag hot snake. End quote. Steve Abreu on tour. Your thoughts?
Not bad. Hashtag hot snake. I like that.
Why is everyone freaking
I
out
do
so
not like
heavily about this coaching rumor when he's literally been rumored to coach 3 or 4 other teams before this?
Yeah, this is
because it's a dread. It's growing dread. At some point, this is going to happen.
Do you think so? You think
Yeah.
eventually he's going to coach?
Someone's
going to
hire him.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's proven himself.
He's a big fucking deal. He smells of rich mahogany, leather-bound books.
17 championships.
Merlin Olsen comes by on occasion.
How's it going to make us like, John? What are you going to feel like when Guillermo starts coaching in MLS? Not for the
I don't
crew.
think I'll particularly have any feelings about it.
Wonderful. Glad to have you.
I
back.
would be excited to have him as our coach, but if he's not, I mean, what am I going to do about it, right?
Yeah. Well, we can finally maybe induct him into the Circle of Honor.
No
when he
shit.
comes.
Right, that's what I-
Why do we
yeah,
have
why
a
are we
Circle of
waiting
Honor?
for
What
that?
do we have a Circle of Honor for if he's not in it?
Are
I
they
don't know.
doing one this year?
Nobody.
It's every other
nobody
year,
knows.
right?
We
And they
gotta
didn't
wait
do
for
one.
LAFC to join the league.
No, it's not every other year. We haven't done
It's
it.
just whenever the fuck they feel like.
We
it?
haven't done it since Frankie's, and that was like 2014.
That wasn't 2 years ago.
No, it was 2014.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I don't know what they're waiting for.
I agree
I mean,
with you.
I guess I understand you don't want to fill it up like super fast, but it's fucking
Jesus
Guillermo.
Fucking Christ, dude! Bobby,
do
is at,
Guillermo and then don't do another one for 15 years. I won't give a fuck. But like,
Bobby is at every game.
Right.
Like, Varzias
Yes,
is
and
at
him too.
every game.
yeah, both of them.
Just fucking pull him down there at halftime and be like, oh, hey, we're going to do this real quick.
Wait,
Like,
wait. What?
yeah, he comes to every
What?
game.
No, not that part.
Oh,
You're
What?
putting Warzia in the Circle of Honor?
Fuck yeah, I am.
You don't think he deserves to be up there?
No.
100%.
Based on what?
He's playing.
Based on play, based on coaching staff.
Then you've got to put Clark and Maisenoff and Stern John. You got to put all those guys in before
yeah, you got to
Garcia.
put Stern John in.
Okay, sure, but not. I mean, you put him first. I'm sorry, we don't have to talk about the crew in segment 3. I've ruined already
Thank
2
you.
segments. of
Jesus
crew talk.
Christ. What about Thurman Thomas? Is he going to be in there?
Sure.
Bruce Smith,
CJ Spiller, and all
QB
those guys.
Bills. Wonderful. Moving the
QB
fuck
Bills.
on to the last Hatake of the night. Comes to us from none other than AGS Attack.
We're not
Of course
done?
it does.
Uh-huh. With 0 points, quote, I didn't have to pee during play. And look what happened, end quote. Steve Abreu on tour, your thoughts?
I didn't like it.
Yeah, because
Is that a thing?
Apparently every time he pees, we score.
Every time, even when there's not a game.
This is me messing with the microphone.
They're
'cause I'm
scoring
confused.
right now.
They're scoring right now.
Fan-fucking-tastic. We have to give away blood points this week.
Do we have to?
We start with Greg, then we go
Yes.
to Steve, then we go to John. All three of you have 2 points each to give away.
Hang on, what?
I go to you, Greg
Wait,
Benson.
we've changed the point
How have
structure.
we changed this? Because
Now he gives points.
Well, I mean, yeah.
as far as I know, we're both still tied for the lead.
Tune in to right after now to
Oh,
find
get
out
the
why you
fuck
have
out.
2 points to give away. What was that?
Yeah, seriously. Okay.
Greg, your 2 points.
All right. First one's going to go to. I got to give it to Hired Ballerina for avoiding the kangaroo meat joke.
Wonderful.
You know, sometimes it's not what you put in; it's what you leave out.
Yep.
And other one's going to go to setting the table.
Setting the table and Hired Ballerina, is that right? Fan-fucking-tastic. Steve Abreu on tour, Zip 6. Your thoughts?
That's an amputee artist, John Zadar.
Damn it, Steve.
That was ACES Reflections.
One to ACES Reflections. Welcome to the gaggle fuck
Yep.
bulk. And I got to give one to _Ken, who did not appear tonight, but 2 weeks ago made a cancer joke
Yep.
on this podcast.
That's true.
I literally cried laughing about. And he didn't get any points from you guys because
Yep.
you went into Boadi 2 whatever.
Bootylicious.
And _Ken deserves that point.
All
I
right.
give _Ken
That's
a point.
fair. There are no fucking rules here. This is
Ocular
like
fucking
Vietnam.
melanoma for the win.
Right.
And _Ken is the one that bitched about not getting points before, so he now gets points.
Retroactive
There you
points.
go.
Or she gets points for not doing it.
So now cancer is the worst problem in the Reddit thread.
What if I told you there was a cure for the scourge that is cancer? I think it's radiation.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I don't know. We'll ask Mike.
2 points. Back to you, John.
Me. Who did the hot dog one?
Jesus.
I didn't
Hired
get
Ballerina,
the
I
name
think.
written. I just have hot dog eating.
It was Hired Ballerina.
Yeah, Hired Ballerina.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to give that 1 point. I just wanted to know.
Ruthless.
I don't know how Hired Ballerina comes back from that.
Lord of the Shits gets one for his luggage contents. comment, and then I'm going to give Steve one for that wedding registry joke.
All right. I'm on the board.
Yeah, dude. My first blood point goes to Steve Abreu on tour as well. That was pretty good. Unexpected. My second blood point goes to Darling Thief. About time you get in the board. I mean, she's been trying
She's
for a
got
long
one
time.
already, I think.
No, she does not. Is that right? She does.
I'm pretty sure she does.
Okay, well,
I'm
she
pretty
has
sure
two
now she's got two. It's
She's
okay.
out of the gaggle fuck, right? Fucking A. Oh, God. Who's the third one? Is it the...
It's fine. We'll wait. We have time.
Do your thing, John.
I love that thing.
Fuck, there's one more. I can't find it.
Yeah, great.
I mean, fill the time. Jesus. Why are you here, Greg?
Oh, man. How was the flight in, Steve?
Oh, better than Air Canada.
Did you get your bags?
All your shit showed
Yeah,
up?
he got his bags. How about that?
Maybe if you just don't have a layover in another country, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Third blood point goes to setting the table for the Andres Mendoza reference. Fan-fucking-tastic. That was great. John, you got anything else?
No.
What GCG bag got going on?
I don't know. I told
Was that
Tyler and Dave that they need to start telling me so I can talk
Yeah?
about it, and they still haven't.
Fortunately, we have no time for that. This has been another edition for the battle for the grand prize.
And you already know, so let your head nod throughout the outro. Now as the curtains close and it's time to go, will the beast almost out like
It's a very long outro, John. We're already over 2 hours of this episode.
Wow. To the surprise of absolutely
You guys'
nobody, because
Fridays
that
are
never
gonna be
happens.
Don't talk over the
You were talking over
outro,
it.
Walter.
That was great.
That was
I'm pretty
quite
sure
good,
it's
Walter.
Walter. Oh, yeah, baby. No, you can't, Walter.
I'm very confused right now.
This has been the episode of Fart Jokes.
Case in point.
Damn it.
Moving on to score predictions, let's get them updated. We have 2 games to update. Greg Benson, the game against New York Red Bulls, a.k.a. New York, New Jersey Metro Stars. The S is capitalized because MLS 1.0. You said it was the most likely outcome was a 2-2 tie. That was incorrect. It was a 0-2 loss. You get no points. May God have mercy on your soul.
I don't believe in God, Morgan. You know this.
Lovely. Love that joke. Wonderful to have you back. Moving on to John Zadar, the wet boy. You said a 2-1 win was the most likely outcome. That's not true, John. It was a 0-2 loss. You get no points. May God have mercy on your soul. Now to the continuing champion, Morgan Hughes. What a great guy that is. A rare treat to have him back. You said it was going to be a 1-2 loss. That was very close, actually. It was a 0-2 loss. You get 5 points. May God have mercy on your soul. On to the NYCFCSC game. Greg Benson, the Hollywood racist, the wetness, the wet boy, the man-child. You said it was a 2-2 tie. That was what's going to happen. You were wrong. It was a 3-2 loss. No points. God, mercy, soul. John Zadar, the wet boy. You were in Hocking Hills. You couldn't be bothered to respond to my text messages.
My
I didn't
Derek's
get it,
text message?
I didn't get it until it was too late.
And my posts on the goddamn Slack channel either. You did not reply to
I don't
those.
even have Slack on my phone.
You said the most likely outcome was no response. That was not true. It was a 2-3 loss. You get no points. God, mercy, soul. Continuing champion, Hughes, Morgan. You said it was a 2-1 win. That was very close, even though it didn't happen. It almost did. A lot of people are saying you're the greatest. 0 points. God, mercy, soul. On to the standings in second place, tied for second place. The Hollywood racist, Greg Benson. You have 15 points.
Mm-hmm.
In second place, John Zadar, the wetness, the wet boy.
Hi.
Amateur artist, 15 points. In first place, continuing champion, number 1, Hansy boy.
Wait, I'm in the positive again?
Morgan Hughes.
Yeah, right now, 87.
God damn it, Brian.
I can play this drop like 8 more times. You just want to keep dancing?
How many points did you have?
I have 20 now.
Oh, you're not far above us. Okay.
I'm a lot of points, actually, like 5 points. When you compare it to as many points as you actually have, which is 15.
I've gone 15 negative and almost caught back up to you.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Greg,
Yeah,
check into that.
A lot of people are saying that.
Fax machine?
Yeah, I'm on it.
A lot of people are saying I did that on purpose.
Moving on to Cruisers. No one said that. Cruisers FC taking on the Revolution of New York, New Jersey, and New England this weekend. Oh, shit. The fucking weather report. I didn't download it.
Oh, God.
Let's see if I... Nope, there it is. It's downloading. Give me a second.
It's going to rain.
Come on, Alex.
It's all right. You've already said more than Morgan has in this segment.
Oh, shit. Is this happening?
What the fuck is going on right now? Is this the weather?
It's Air Canada hold music.
You fucker.
Thanks for calling Air Canada.
It is.
All of our customer service representatives are busy, if that's okay with you.
I cannot believe you've done this. Oh my God, it is. That's all he said.
Blood point. Blood
Oh
point.
my God. Okay, now the only question here is how many blood points are we giving Alex Thomas for that troll?
One each.
One
each.
So four?
Four, yeah.
Four
Well
fucking
earned.
blood points to Alex Thomas. I cannot believe you've done this.
and well earned.
Jeez.
Dude, oh, thank Christ I didn't remember to download that. Like, oh, man, that would have... Okay, I hate him. So, crew taking on the revolution of... Oh, Jesus. New England this weekend. Steve Abreu, you are from Foxborough, Massachusetts. I go to you first. What are you watching for this weekend, my friend?
I don't want Kai Kamara to score. That's the first thing I don't want to have happen.
Real talk.
I'd like Will Trapp to step up as captain of the club and maybe, win some balls back in the midfield and boss some people around.
Yeah.
Be a midfield boss.
Okay.
So let's try to hold them under 3 goals.
Does that equal a victory for Cruisers FC? If we hold them at 2 goals, do we win?
No.
All right.
Draw.
Okay. Greg Benson,
Yeah.
what are you watching for this weekend?
I like Steve's idea of Will Trapp finally being, I don't know, a captain, a leader, someone who, you expect that from not just from a guy who wears the armband, but for someone who plays his position, to be a guy that you're afraid to run at, that you're afraid to try and pass the ball through. I haven't seen anything of that from Trapp, and I think with Artur being gone, I think it creates more of a need for him to step up and be that guy because, everyone was big on Artur and he played a great start to the season, but he's not there now. So you can't just let that be your weak link, especially when, you kind of weren't banking on this happening. You traded Tony Chani away, and I want to see the crew control the midfield a lot more in this game to try and direct the tempo.
Fair enough. John Zadar, the wet boy, the amateur artist. What are you watching for this weekend, my friend?
I mean, I think that's basically been covered here already. I mean, the defensive midfielders are key to shielding our apparently weak back line. So I'm not optimistic about any games until Artur returns. I've been shown nothing that should make me optimistic. So I guess I'm looking to be proven wrong.
All right. Fair enough. I'm looking for the return of Alex Crognell, who up until tonight really was best known as the distant cousin of International Soccer Celebrity Gangster Crew Baby. When he comes back, I think we're a better fucking team. Obviously, we miss Artur. It still feels...
Will he be back for Saturday?
They said in the press this week that he is back to practicing at full strength or some shit. I have to assume that he'll be back.
The thing that
What does Greg do?
That's what I was going to say. The thing I would maybe consider is that if he's back, I would not be surprised as poorly as Abreu has played if we see Ness be moved up there instead of him and then Mensah and Crognell in the back together.
Yeah.
I think that makes the most sense. I think you've got to try it. Abreu he shouldn't be on an MLS team.
Simple as that.
Yeah, it's crazy how, like I said in the first segment, Alex Crognell and Artur are now they are the 2 most important fucking pieces of our team. Clearly, that makes us go, and it's nuts how quickly that changes. Thank Christ we spent DP money on a guy who's worse than a homegrown signing out of college.
I said that when we were here at Sauber watching that last game.
Yeah.
Do you think
how frustrated Berhalter must be to know that he spent that money in vain, basically.
But how lucky did we get? Did we get lucky on Artur? I mean, did we just scrimmage with those guys and saw him like, look at this guy, we'll take him?
Well,
was that the reason we were at Sao Paulo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think I said it a couple episodes ago. I think it says a lot about Greg Berhalter that he was there and he was like, whoa, this youth team prospect could really fucking, midfield boss it up in MLS.
Sure,
and
but
identify
what explains the Scandinavian blind spot? Why do we keep bringing Scandinavian?
Jesus.
I mean,
Yes, I agree with that.
I think
John
it
Zadar,
could be just luck.
you're a soccer guy.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what kind of scouting network we have. I don't know where our scouts are. I would assume that they're probably over there where we keep pulling these Scandinavians from. I assume he's focusing on that area because he knows it.
Well, maybe Berhalter needs to be the only scout. Because the guy who we have in Scandinavia doesn't fucking work, and the guy that was in Brazil did. And I think that was Greg Berhalter.
Sure.
Back to
Yeah,
you, Greg.
I'm assuming we don't have a Brazilian scout. I'm assuming that you're right. We just fucking stumbled on him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you look at some of the guys that they brought in from Scandinavia before. Like Giancarlo Gonzalez was playing in Sweden before he came
Sure.
over.
We haven't had no hits. Ola came from there.
Exactly.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
you're like, all right. Occasionally, you'll tap the well, and something really good will come out, and you'll be like, all right, well, let's make another trip back to that.
Well,
Reital only
failures,
cost
too.
us 3 goals last week. I mean, that guy's probably going to come around.
Steindorsen had a cup of coffee.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
I mean, Larson. I mean, these people they come and go like the wind.
Yeah, they do.
It's Columbus.
but
We
I mean,
kind of like
so
white
did
people
Hernan
here.
Grana. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know. I gotta imagine
Sergio Herrera.
something here. It's something here. It's not where they're coming from. I think.
Morgan, you said it off the air. It's the reason that everyone's talking about Jack or whatever his name is coming from Aberdeen.
Yeah.
We like our white Europeans here
Yeah.
in Columbus.
Yep.
So if we find one that's pretty good,
I don't know how to say that without calling all Crew fans racist, but like it just seems like people get really
I
fucking
hate it
jacked
for
up.
one.
But that's
I mean,
all we get. I don't think that's because we like it. I think we've been fed a steady diet of that. I would love to. Let's get some Colombians. Let's have some.
Well, I mean, look at
Argentinians.
the Ghanaians. I mean, they've been.
I don't know.
I think people were excited about them.
They're having a rough year.
I mean, they're not playing great, but people were. To say
All
that
three
people
of them
weren't
have been had.
hyped would be wrong. The 4 of them were on the cover of one of the local newspapers. For Christ's sakes, I mean, people were excited.
It is noteworthy, but they've definitely not lived up to where they need to be.
I
And
agree.
Harrison Awful is the poster boy for that. We know he can play better.
Yeah. Yeah. All I'm saying is not a lot of people were getting Harrison Awful jerseys when he signed, but the minute that Steinderson
I know someone
signed,
who did.
and he was a beautiful white man from a European area, people were lining up at the gear shop to get Kristen Steinerson jerseys.
If you
racism.
were
Back
to, if
to
you
you,
were to
Greg.
sign if you were to sign a couple of Germans, I guarantee they'd spike to 1 and 2 in jersey sales before.
I'm
too
officially
long.
fucking over the Schweinsteiger shit that I've seen from the MLS account on Twitter.
No. I don't mean
I've
just
seen
any
enough.
team. I mean
I've
like
seen enough.
I mean as far as a very heavily German
Right, German
area.
village.
Yeah, we hate
But to
German
your
things.
point, Morgan,
Here
I
at Sauber.
think Tony Gianni took more than his fair share of flack, and Andres Mendoza took more of his fair share of flack.
Agreed.
He also did more than his fair share of cocaine. Too,
Nope. At the Benjamin Press.
I am Morgan Hughes. I press the wrong buttons, and I'm Peruvian.
Fucking dare you? I'm Peruvian, Greg. I'll put you under the ground. Same shallow grave I put Clark Beacom and Kevin Burns. And cue Patrick Golden defending Kevin Burns on
Say
Twitter.
Patrick
He
Golden
fucking
loves
does that.
Kevin Burns for some reason.
Absurd shit.
All the
Absurd
time.
shit. Moving on. Score predictions. New England, Greg Benson. Start with you, my friend. Go ahead.
I feel pretty good about this because I don't think New England's that good, especially on the road. So I'm going 2-1 Crew. SC.
All right. Way to save yourself a $16 fine.
I did.
Steve Abreu on tour. I gave Zip6. Follow him on Big Soccer. Give him some grouchy points. Back to you.
I see us taking a 2-0 lead and leaving the game at 2-2.
Damn. John Zadar.
I think we win this one. New England is one of the bottom teams in the league right now. They haven't really shown well in any of their games, as far as I can remember. I don't think
go
they
up 3-0 on Seattle, and then they pissed that away.
Yeah, then they pissed it away. So I don't think we keep a clean sheet, obviously. We don't really do that, but I do think we'll get the win. I would say... You want a score prediction right now?
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to say probably 2-1.
What'd you say, Greg?
2-1.
2-1, 2-1.
I'm going to go 1-2
2-1,
maybe.
2-2, 2-1. What are you thinking?
I'm saying 1-1.
1-1.
I'll say a tie.
I think some of these guys maybe still hold a little bit of a grudge against Kai Kamara, and with Higuain in the form that he is,
Yeah.
I know I'm sure.
Yeah. Ethan Finley
Held
will
a
tell you
grudge.
that they hate New England.
Yeah, that, and I mean, I think there's some extra reasons out there to go out there and beat these guys.
Is that from the Jermaine Jones era, though? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on the field. I mean, what's there to hate I mean, other than Kai Kamara now, although
Well, I'll put that question to you. You live in Revs country, and you have feelings about the New England Revolution. What is there to hate about the Revs?
there's a lot to hate if you're a Major League Soccer fan. A
Yeah.
lot. It is the worst experience in Major League Soccer, bar
And it's
none.
not even close.
How many games have you been to?
I go
In
to
your-
all of the crew games I can
The
get
crew
to when they
ones.
go. I do not go to any other games.
Okay.
Because Patriot Place is trash.
They treat you like a terrorist.
Yeah.
You cannot get into the stadium with a bag unless it's clear.
Right.
I mean, and they wait for you to stand up and cheer so that they can kick you out.
Yes,
It
they
is
do.
Seriously.
without a doubt. And then again, you're watching it on a gridiron on plastic
Yep.
in a giant stadium that's 45 minutes from where you live, and you've got to sit in traffic to get there and to get out. It is, and you've been, you know
Yeah.
how it is. I mean, we lost that game. That was a rough game in the 2014 playoffs, but even when we win the games there, you go home and you're like, I can't believe I just spent 4 hours of my life watching an MLS 1.0 experience.
Yeah. Yeah, and then sitting for 2 hours at Toby Keith's, fucking American Bar and Grill beforehand. I just spent $38 on 2 Bud Lights at Toby Keith's.
Is that the nearest bar?
No, there's others. I don't know why he was there.
Well, yeah.
There's the Bar Louie. I mean,
Okay, so Gillette Stadium is at a shopping center.
it's in a mall that Bob Kraft built.
Yep.
And this is why they're having so much trouble getting a stadium, is because every time the Revs play, the mall that he owns and the stadium that he owns
Makes money.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
why invest in it? Now, the reason why is because the fans are basically in an open state of mutiny right now. There was an article in the Globe. The latest great hope of the New England Revolution is that they would move to this point called the Bayside Expo. That got shot down this week.
Which was owned by what?
UMass Boston.
UMass. Okay.
Yeah.
What? I mean, what's it going to cost to build a new stadium for this MLS team? Like fucking the money that Kraft wipes his ass with. Like
Yeah,
what?
he doesn't
Just
care,
spend
though,
right.
because
But
he
like,
doesn't care.
don't you think that if he built like a stadium in a good, cool area of town, don't you think Boston would sell that shit out?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
in a
So like,
heartbeat.
I don't understand the hesitancy. Just fucking.
And from a marketing perspective and from an optics perspective, I don't understand why MLS sort of doesn't hold. I understand that there's why piss off your customer or the guy that's making you money.
Bob Kraft
but-
was one of the people that kept the
Yeah,
league afloat.
Bob Kraft
for-
spent a shitload of
Right.
money when we needed
I mean,
a
he's
shitload.
got
of
So
that
money.
big
I
dick
get that they're
swagger.
not too keen to try and bust his balls, but at the same time, why would you not say, look, there's a lot of mutual gain to be made out of this.
Yeah.
We look better, you look better, your fans have a better experience. And,
It's
not
I just don't know if they can. I just don't know how they. I don't see them actually ever finally like holding his feet to the flame until they're done expanding. Because they've
When are they
sacrificed.
done expanding,
I don't
though?
know, but they've long ago sacrificed their stadium standards.
Oh, yeah.
They sacrificed it with Seattle, and they've just continued to chop it down with New York City and
New
everybody
York
else.
City, Orlando
They
for a
had
couple
to have a
years.
stadium, and it had to be grass. And then they said, "Oh, well, you can do plastic because Seattle did
Yeah,
plastic."
but Bob
and now you
Kraft
don't have to have a
is they.
stadium because Beckham and New York don't have a stadium. And
Bob
like-
Kraft is they. No, there is no they to hold his feet to the fire. He is they. When people say, "Oh, fucking Garber's doing this," Bob Kraft is the guy telling
Is
him
he
to
though?
say
Is he?
that.
He's not. Is he in any of these committees that Precourt and other guys are on now? Though I don't think he is. I don't
His
think he's
son
that involved.
His son is. So Jonathan Kraft
Is
is
he?
the one who runs the Revolution. Bob Kraft really does not care about his soccer team.
Are you my grandson?
He's totally all in on the American football team
Yeah.
for good reason.
Sure.
So, and the other thing is, Boston is the most difficult place to build a stadium in the country. There's just no land left. I mean, you could basically put some dirt in the harbor.
You can tear a shitload of stuff down in Southie and have it up tomorrow.
They've already done that. Now it's all 5-floor high-rise. condos.
Yeah, he missed the fucking opportunity.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
And he's got a good thing.
Well, it's
I
like
mean,
the Columbus
for him,
downtown
18,000 people at Gillette on a Saturday is a nice day because they all pay to park in his lots and they all go to his shopping center.
Yeah, he's making money
he's
on
not
them
wrong.
3, 4, 5 times over.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong, but that is the worst goddamn experience in MLS.
The worst.
It's the worst. There's.
I mean, well, then what do you do? As fans, you just stop going.
Yeah, that's what
you
they've
have
done.
to.
They vote
That's
with
all
their
you.
feet.
That's the only power you've got now.
Yes.
Yeah.
You stop going.
Sorry, the Fort.
Those people are really
Back to
loyal,
you.
though. I mean, that club has lost 5 MLS Cups.
Yep.
Oh
5.
Jesus, yeah.
And they've never won a supporter shield. So, and yet they show up. So the Fort, hats off to them. But it's no place to be as an away fan.
No, and they're really good at being abused, so good for them. Now, I'll say this, all the shitty things you said about their security policies, to take that to a home fan's perspective, those guys in the Fort, the Midnight Riders, they have to have all of their shit, flags, tifos, everything they hang, everything they wave, in the stadium before the season starts. If you don't have shit in there
What?
before the season starts, you can't fucking bring it in.
That's it?
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. That's miserable.
And you can't, even as away supporters, you can't bring banners or flags.
Yeah.
I mean,
They let us bring banners, but not
but
flags.
it can't cover existing,
Yeah.
the existing wrap that
And-
says New England Revolution.
Right, and it may have changed in the last 3 years. I think that was the last time I was there. Anyway, moving on. Cruisers FC also take on TFC on Wednesday of this coming week. We will be recording on Thursday, so we need to cover this right now. It's the first time we've ever remembered to do this, so big ups to the number 12 Buffalo Bills podcast, ACES Radio. Greg Benson, your score prediction for Cruisers FC, Toronto FC.
I think TFC is starting to turn a corner, so yeah, a little bit afraid of them right now. I predicted a loss last time and they let me down, so 2-2.
Who wins?
In a 2-2?
America.
We all, yeah.
Steve Abreu on tour, Cruisers FC, Toronto FC.
St. Pierre and Miquelon.
This is exactly the kind of game Toronto should win and loses. Wednesday night in Columbus, they're going to mail this one in. I think we're going to win this one 2-0.
Dos acero, saith the Zip 6 boy. To the wetness, to John Zadar.
Yeah, Toronto has really turned it around. I mean, they haven't lost since they lost to us, so it's a 3-game win streak. That said, they have to travel to Seattle on Saturday, and I agree with Steve. They should absolutely beat us, and I think that is exactly why they will not. I'm going to go again with another 2-1 win for us.
Is that right?
Yep, I think so.
All right, well, I'm going to go against the grain. 1-0 Toronto FC, Cruisers FC, shit the bed again. I do not feel good.
I think
if
the travel
we lose
benefits
both
us.
these games, if we lose the Revolution game and the Toronto game, how hot does Greg Berhalter's seat get?
Not hot.
I can't see. I can't see him.
Depends on who you ask.
I can't see him getting fired until December, the summer window.
Remember,
I think he has till at least the end of June.
Remember where we were at when Bobby got fired, when ACES actually fired Varzia.
Yeah.
People have been calling for that for
Because
3
we
fucking
had
years.
absentee owners while we were calling for it.
Yeah, a lot of that wasn't. All of those calls weren't falling to pre-court years.
I think if we have another 2016 this year, and this season is teetering on the brink here, 2 more home matches. This is a 3 game?
It's 3-game homestand.
Okay, we lost the first one.
Yeah.
If we lose all 3, then we're back into 2016. Okay, maybe we get our tour back and we turn it around again, but something has got to give. I mean, Greg is now questioning himself. He's in his own head. If he's saying, okay, I screwed up the substitutions last week, if now he's acknowledging that, what's going to, is he going to stop screwing that up? I don't.
Jesus, I hope that's a conversation we don't have to have a week from today. Fucking A, dude.
I mean, it's just as we could win them both.
Yeah.
We could, because it's MLS and who the hell knows.
Well, here's what you say.
And your
win
point
them
about
both,
the traveling, about Toronto traveling from Seattle to Columbus for a Wednesday game is
if we
very
win them both,
good.
we're right in the thick again, aren't we?
I mean, 2 wins would put us top of the table.
We're 13
We're
right
13.
now.
The top teams are Orlando and KC, both at 18.
Yeah.
But they're going to play.
Sure.
And we're by no means out of it, but again, I love this about MLS. Every game seems like a make or break thing, and it's fucking.
I mean, it's literally 6 points between 2nd place and 9th place in the East.
Yeah, and we're going to go on our late summer run where we make up a shitload of ground, and that's just
two of those teams
Didn't
were
last
playing.
year. I mean, we sort of
That's-
did.
I mean, we got 2 of our 3 wins in August, so that's kind of a late season run.
I mean, I think that's a good point. I think that's a really good point, though. I think the results of this 3-game series here at home are important, really important.
I would also point out that we haven't played the shit teams yet. We haven't. This is going to be our first contest against New England. We haven't played Philly yet. We haven't played Montreal. We haven't played Minnesota. We haven't played any of the shit
Philly.
teams.
They are
Speaking
unprecedentedly bad.
Yeah, speaking of fans that shouldn't be coming to their home games, when we talk about New England, Philly has literally...
They have 4 points.
always
They haven't
been
won a
shit.
single game. They're negative, I think where'd they go?
And-
I think they're -8.
And those of you that have been to Chester, Pennsylvania, know what a conundrum it is. When you're on the campus of that stadium, you're fine. But those cops get the fuck out of there about 20 minutes after the whistle blows. And if you don't...
the cops don't want to have anything to do with the area.
Yes.
You don't want to be there.
And if you don't have a ride, dude, your likelihood of being murdered is about 32%.
But don't you think, for us to make a cup run, we've got to be top 3 in the East? There's no cup run from 4th, 5th, 6th. In
Yeah, Portland was dead last.
Probably
Okay.
not out of us.
But when have we ever
Seattle,
done that?
dead
when have
last.
we ever done that?
Yeah, not out of us.
No, right.
Yeah. Yeah, Portland can pull that off. I mean, Seattle, they have the talent to pull that off. Like, Seattle came out of quote-unquote nowhere last year, but they still have talent on their roster. You know, Cruisers FC probably don't come out of the 6th place and make a gigantic run.
Not in an Eastern Conference that is that close.
Yeah,
as
it's
far
a bit
as the top
stacked.
is concerned.
I think the Eastern Conference has always been the weaker of the two conferences until really recently, I think.
It's not so much that it's a weaker. It's just the bad teams are slightly better and the good teams are slightly worse.
Well, Toronto
So it
sucking
kind
for
of
their entire
compresses
existence
everything.
had a lot to do with that. I mean, they're the big market club in the East that MLS has said we have to guarantee you that we have to
That's what I'm
guarantee the
saying.
fans that you're good.
I mean, East. That's why I say like, East has always been, not always, but like for the last 10 years or so, traditionally been worse than the West. But I think the last few years, it's really stepped up. I mean, both the New York teams are real challengers now with lots of talent and big names.
It was
and
an LA dominated
Toronto,
league,
and-
right?
Right.
LA dominated the league for 5 years. Then Seattle came along. And now you're seeing Toronto and New York City. I think New York City really has a chance to do something this year.
now that they have a defense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, New York City beat Columbus last weekend without Pirlo, without David Villa.
Yeah.
You know,
And with the services of a Columbus reject in Ben Sweat. For fuck's sake.
Yeah, and Atlanta's still lurking. They've stumbled a bit, but to pretend like they aren't a very talented young roster would be naive.
I think this is exactly who we thought they were. I don't think they're world beaters just yet.
I don't anticipate them being world beaters this year, but I would be very scared of them next year.
I think we anticipated them being a good team, though.
Right, and they are. They are
competitive.
right with
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
I was just saying to John and Greg out on the porch, like, isn't it funny how Metro Stars fans freak the fuck out? Like, they're on 16 points right now. They're 2 points out of top place in the East, and they were freaking the fuck out at the beginning of the season. Like, dude, we're not going to figure our shit out.
Yeah, if I'm
And
a
they
Red
freaked
Bulls
the
fan,
fuck
I'd
out
be
last year,
saving,
too,
I'd
when
be
they
saving the
fired Petke.
freak out
Fire
for
Petke.
October, November when it's actually justified.
They did get rid of the linchpin of their offense, though. So it's
Yeah.
a little bit justified.
Sure.
Just- they didn't know how they were going to be.
And they did it the right time. I mean, is Dax McCarty going to be good for another 2 years? Absolutely. Did they sell him at the apex of his fucking worth? Fuck yeah, they did. And they took Chicago's money, of course, to do it. It's like us with the Kai Kamara trade. Like, Jesus Christ, we raped them.
You got to do something with the money, though. I mean, you have to do something with the money.
That's a good point. Good point.
It's good enough that you can rape another team and then
Yeah.
give them raises to your own players.
Yeah.
You're not getting any better that way.
Chicago is like us with wingers, with midfielders. They've signed every fucking available midfielder
I
in the
think
world.
they're better. They finally started to turn the corner, maybe. And Dax is the player they needed. Someone that just was an
I
anchor.
think that the three that they have are better as like a rotating triangle. I think those three guys, Juninho, Dax, and Schweinsteiger, can all go forward and play that deeper role like evenly, whereas ours cannot all do that. Trapp cannot go forward. Trapp
Yeah.
cannot go forward. Abu cannot do anything. He can barely fucking walk. I mean, Artur can do both, and that's it. We got three now.
I'll say
Johnny's
this.
gone. Johnny could kind of do both, I think.
I'll say
but he's
this
gone.
of Chicago: it's it's a very underrated acquisition in MLS to get somebody that is a proven MLS player. You have a tendency to go outside the league and get like a shining star to try to like restart your franchise. Like a Schweinsteiger's a good example. Your Beckhams, your fat fucking what's his nuts is in
Lampard.
Chicago. And Lampard, if you can go out and get a guy that's like, hey, I am a creator in MLS. I've proven this. I'm a commodity. Good on Chicago for taking a chance. John, we got to get the hell out of here. What's GCG back got going on this week?
I don't know. I'm sure something, but
Is that
I
right?
have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're even doing themed stuff anymore.
Hunting for golden cruisers?
I don't know. I told them.
Who
yeah,
can eat the most hot dogs? Will Trapp or Andy Hubbard?
probably Andy Hubbard. Will Trapp shouldn't really be eating hot dogs.
What about Brian Allen, 87? How many can that guy cram down his neck?
I think Brian Allen could beat both of them.
Brian Harris, Allen, 87.
Brian Allen Harris, 87.
That's right. Greg Benson, you doing stand-up anywhere?
Yeah, I'll be at Shrunken Head on Monday.
Is that right? For
For real?
Yeah, for realsies.
Nice.
What
Fan
time?
fucking tastic.
8 o'clock.
Steve Abreu, you doing a stand-up anywhere?
No.
Wait, you
This
should
is
try.
it. I'm sorry.
Shrunken Head, Monday?
I get real money. I'm a lawyer, Morgan. So I do that Monday through Friday. I kind of
Roasted.
do want to see your set, though.
Are you
Is
still
it
going to be here?
observational humor, or is it kind of like...
It's a little bit of observational, a little bit of tongue-in-cheek,
And a lot of
sardonic
disappointing, much like Aces Radio episode 44. Thanks to Steve Abreu for stopping by. Everybody that stopped by tonight, Darby Schnarf's family, Erica Crest, Footgolf, Larry Turd, the dead rotting corpse of Kevin Burns, and Andy Loughnane. It's been episode 44 of Aces Radio, and all Lord Guillermo's people said... Aces.
Go you Sky Blues.
Oh man, we almost did it perfect that time.
Don't fucking talk over the thing. Like if like the silence reaches, like you can go like when it's like psh, you can go like Sydney is Sky Blue. It's really Zadar that fucked everything up.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
You just went on like a 5-minute tirade about how
that was not
fucked it up.
anywhere close to 5 minutes. There's a certain point of silence where you can't say anything.
Go home.
And you're not.
Why are you
no,
still here?
No, you can't do that.
Show's over.
That's not it. Go. No. Oh, wonderful, John. Great to have you back. Thanks for stopping by.
Feed us drinks. Get us laid. Animal House.
Oh, God, I hate all of you. Reminder is always to go to zbeers.com/hot deals. Frequent Zauber Brewing Company. They got a wonderful back room. On Thursday nights, there are people back there. They talk about the crew. Tune in next week to the celebrity guest, Brian Allen, 87. He'll be here on segment 2. On behalf of Erica Kress and Kevin Burns and John Zadar.
I got to pee. Are you doing this on purpose?
Aces Radio. Aces. Don't say anything.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.
Please have a party. Feed us drinks. Get us laid. Ow!
I really want John Zadar dead.